champ now.
Yes, I didn't see him. What are you looking so sad about, champ?
I'm surprised. I mean, I'm really insulted. That's not right, what you just said.
What do you mean, what I just said?
I mean, I'm getting a drink of water. I'm late getting home, but you talk. I said something about the greatest heavyweight champ, man. I'm a hometown man, and you talking about Joe Louis, man. Joe Louis wouldn't be nothing for me. Joe, I tell you, Joe, do you think you would have stood a chance with me?
Well, one time during my career, I was on a Bomber 1 tour.
I would have been a bum compared to you.
What's happening, my people? It's Cat Sports again, back for another afternoon with the family. That's right. You know what time it is. If it's Monday through Friday, 2 p.m., it's the Boxtorian, bringing you all that boxing history. Boxing is the greatest sport of them all. That's why we love it. Can't get enough of it. Salute to everyone and welcome to another episode of Cat Sports, the Box Story. Today, the Cruiserweights. The Cruiserweights has the family today. It's Friday, right at the end of another big week of boxing history. It's Profile Day, and we're looking at the Cruiserweight division today. Like we did last week, for the foreseeable future, we're going to go down through all the divisions. Started with heavyweight last week and look at some fighters and different events that happened in these divisions. Today is Cruiserweight. That's probably the best Cruiserweight fight of all time. Evander Holyfield and Dwight Muhammad Quali. Tim Layton in the building. What's up, Tim Layton? Happy Thanksgiving. Hope you and your family had a great time yesterday celebrating Thanksgiving. Salute Tim Layton. The Cruiserweights today. We're going to talk about Dwight Muhammad Quali first. He did most most of his best work at light heavyweight, but he did fight at cruiserweight. I found a nice little piece on him. We're going to talk about Carlos de Leon, another good cruiserweight, Carl Thompson, Johnny Nelson, the guy that commentates on the Zone now, but he was a cruiserweight, did his best work at cruiserweight. Then we're going to talk about some 5 great cruiserweight fights, including the first cruiserweight championship fight of all time between Marvin Camel and Maeve Pavlov. They had 2. The first one was a draw when they first started cruiserweight, so they had to rematch because they had to have a champion. Had to have their first champion, and Camel won the second one. All that today on Cast Sports the Box Story, bringing you all that boxing history. What we got this weekend to follow up that great card we had last weekend from the Riyadh season. I think we got like 5 cards this weekend. Got one from Temecula, California. Elijah Pierce is on the headline in that event. And we got one from Birmingham, England. Ben Whitaker back in action. He's part of the biggest name of the weekend. Ben Whitaker, the one that's always in there playing around, dancing and carrying on. Got a card from Derby, England. Fraser Clark headlining that one. Then we got one from Fresno, California. Jesse Magdalena. Is he fighting? Still fighting? Jesse got to be just as old as I am. Wow. Man, he's trying to break Archie Moore's record. Jesse is on headlining too. Jesse Magdalena. And then we got one from Mexico, Chihuahua, Mexico. A female's card headlining that one, Diana Laura Fernandez, Nayeli Rodriguez. Never heard of neither one of them. They fighting tomorrow, headlining the card. And that's it tomorrow, like 5 cards. Wow. Okay. But today, the cruiserweights. Okay. And we're going to start it all out with our fight of the day. Okay. Always got to have our fight of the day. So we're going to reach down into the archives and come up with a classic fight. So without further ado, let's get into our fight of the day. Mike Mazik. Salute, Mike. Hope you and your family had a nice Thanksgiving yesterday. Good to see you again today. Okay, the fight of the day today is Vitaly Klitschko versus Juan Carlos Gomez. March 21st, 2009. The doctor is in. The doctor is in. Klitschko Gomez, all the way back to 2009. What's that, like 16 years ago? Not that deep into the archives, but almost 20 years ago. Let's get into it. Today's fight of the day. Vitaly Klitschko versus Juan Carlos Gomez. The doctor is in. All right, let's see what that's all about. The doctor is in. Ooh. March 22nd, 2009. Okay. All right. Here we go. The doctor's in. Dr. Iron Fist sedated the Black Panther in Stuttgart, Germany. The official time was 1:48 of the 9th round, but from the 7th round on, it was a foregone conclusion. In fact, Vitaly Klitschko probably took every round except the first round. Okay? Wow, Vitaly won all of them except for the first. The fight was definitely not a thing of beauty, but the Klitschko brothers had a way of continuing to win. In this particular fight, the so-called better boxer, Juan Carlos Gomez, is the one who looked sloppy. He pawed with his jab. He tried to use it as a rangefinder and shade for a straight left. Initially, it appeared Vitaly might cooperate with the big cat because he moved to his right, which was right into Gomez's power. But Gomez was unable to land the left because Vitaly would either block it with his right or slip it to his right. Mike Rim in the building. Salute, Mike. Fight of the day today is Vitaly Klitschko versus Juan Carlos Gomez. March 21st, 2009. The doctor is in. Dr. Iron Fist, that is. But salute, Mike. Hope you and your family had a nice Thanksgiving yesterday. Good to see you today. Okay. Yeah. Gomez was trying to range find with his jab, but he was sloppy. Okay, and he was pawing it. And Vitaly kept blocking it, right? Or moving to his right away from it. Now, during those few occasions when Gomez would be able to work his way inside, he was complacent and would put his hands behind Vitaly, which was a telling sign he did not want to punch. That was a monumental error because he certainly had no hope of beating Vitaly at long range. The fight started and continued in sloppy fashion. There was lots of pawing and lunging. From the get-go, Vitaly curved his hands down, inviting Gomez to try long shots. It was obvious Vitaly was confident he could block Gomez's punches, or better yet, beat him to the punch. Not much in the way of effective punching happened in the first round, so it was difficult to score, but do Gomez a favor and give him the first round, because that's the last favor he would get for the entire fight. Okay, so we just gonna give the first round was basically nobody's round, so just give it to Gomez because that was the last round he was going to get for the entire fight. There's a shot of Dr. Iron Fist. Remember, the doctor is in. In the second round, Vitaly started throwing more right hands, but at first he was swinging with the punch. Then, boom, he landed a short straight right, and he began to further mix up his punches, going first to the body and then to the head. The round ended with both fighters throwing punches at the bell. Scored a second round for Vitaly. It was interesting to note that between rounds, Vitaly was already swallowing water, which is something most fighters avoid because it tends to slow them down. In response to Brian Kenny's question, one of the commentators, Hall of Fame trainer Teddy Atlas said he would like to see Vitaly extend his jab more and keep Gomez at range. Yeah, Teddy and Brian Kenny was commentating. Teddy said he would like to see Vitaly extend his jab more and keep Gomez at range. But Gomez appeared to also be hoping Vitaly would do that, so he could counter. Gomez did manage to land a few counter lefts. Vitaly sneaked in a few shots when Gomez relaxed, thinking the referee might break them. It was reinforced of the old adage, protect yourself at all times. Chalk up another round for Vitaly. Yeah, Gomez didn't win a round after the first. There's a shot of Gomez. Talk of another round for Vitaly. In the fourth round, Vitaly opened up more and led to several jabs to Gomez's right eye, which started to swell both above and below the eye. Okay? It also was becoming bloodshot. It was another round for Vitaly. In the fifth round, Vitaly appeared very confident and started taking more chances. He opened a cut on the right eyelid of Gomez. The giant from the Ukraine was now consistently beating Gomez to the punch with lefts and short rights. And Gomez was starting to look gassed, right? Only the fifth round. Got 12. Gomez was starting to look gassed after the fifth. There they are mixing it up. So Gomez starting to look gassed. In the sixth round, Vitaly opened the round by stepping in with hard right hands. Gomez still wasn't doing anything on the inside. Unexplainably, a long, deep cut opened up on top of Vitaly's head. It wasn't clear how the cut occurred, but it must have been due to a headbutt. Thankfully for Vitaly, it wasn't located in a spot that could potentially cause him vision problems. And this was another round tallied for the Klitschko side. So Vitaly banking rounds now. This is almost like 7, and Gomez only won the first round. Okay. After 6 rounds, Gomez just had one. Vitaly is banking him. In the 7th round, Gomez finally landed a decent straight left, but Klitschko got in a good right in return. Moments later, Klitschko landed a strong right hand that put Gomez on the mat. Vitaly moved in to finish off his prey, but Gomez clicked in the survivor mode, and in the process, he clinched so fiercely that he dragged both Klitschko and himself down to the canvas. Right? Yeah, Gomez was in trouble, and he grabbed Vitaly. Grabbed Vitaly so hard, he took both of them down to the canvas. Took Vitaly down with him. So this obviously was a big round for Vitaly this time. Another round for Vitaly, but a big one. Knocked Gomez down. In the 8th round, Gomez sustained another cut. This time it was over the left eye. As a result, the referee, Daniel Vanderwiel, deducted a point from Vitaly. But it wasn't clear what foul Vitaly committed. Was it an intentional headbutt? Was it a thumb to the eye? Was it an elbow? It wasn't clear what the referee was deducting a point for. But Vitaly didn't seem to object, so whatever he was accused of doing, he must have felt he did it, right? Soon after that, Vitaly caught Gomez with another right hand, and down Gomez went again. Gomez got up again. But seconds later, he turned his back on Vitaly, and the referee came close to stopping the fight, but he did not. Vitaly's performance was impressive, as was Gomez's courage to continue the fight. The referee came close to stopping it, but he decided to let him go. Here he is talking to Gomez about that turning your back. Like, next time I'm gonna stop it. Okay, but he let it go. So Gomez managed to struggle to another minute and 49 seconds before the referee stepped in and stopped the slaughter. So once again, our Klitschko brother got the job done, but not in highlight reel fashion. The heavyweight division was at that time was still looking for that Tyson-like destroyer or another exciting real deal Holyfield. Still, it was hard to argue with success. Granted, Vitaly might have pawed out with his jab, but he also managed to score over the top of Gomez's pawing right jab. Criticize him for moving to his right and into the power of Gomez, but then acknowledge that Vladimir kept Gomez from landing the left and further managed to either beat Gomez to the punch or block Gomez's left with his own right. Then he would turn his right jab into a short counterpunch. After all, he's the doctor, and his prescription proved effective. It was, take one of these, a couple of those, and then some time off to recuperate. And there you have it, the fight of the day. Vitaly Klitschko, Juan Carlos Gomez. And there's your winner, Vitaly Klitschko. The doctor was in on that one. Take one of these, couple of those, and then some time off to recuperate. All right, so today is going to be about the Cruiserweight division. Today, Profile Friday, we're going to look at a few different Cruiserweights. Now, first, the white Muhammad Qawi. Now, he had spent his most time and best work at light heavyweight, but he did fight at Cruiserweight. Okay, there's the white. So we're going to take a look at the white Muhammad Qawi first. We did a thing on him earlier when he passed earlier this year. What was it, around August or something? This is another nice little piece on the white Muhammad Qawi. They said he was 5'7", but he didn't look an inch over 5'5". He said he was 5'6". Okay. So that's where we say 5'6". Okay. His box rec says he's 5'7". He said he was 5'5". No, his box rec said he was 5'7". He looked 5'5". Wait a minute. Box rec said 5'7". He looked 5'5". He said he was 5'6". So we're gonna go with 5'6". Okay, yeah. We're gonna go with 5'6" for the white. Yeah, and when we get to the portion where we're gonna look at the best cruiserweight fights, the white Muhammad Qawi and Evander Holyfield probably was the best, one of the best cruiserweight fights. Might have been the best. They fought at light heavyweight and cruiserweight. Evander and the white did. And the white was adamant about Evander being on steroids, and after I finish this piece on the white, y'all gonna believe he was on steroids too. It convinced me. I never thought that before, but after I read this, it convinced me that Evander was on PEDs. Okay. After we finish this piece, you're gonna believe it. And the white said he always thought it, but then when he said he heard about this, it confirmed it to him too. Let's get into it. The white Muhammad Qawi. Okay. What was Dwight Muhammad Qawi's impact on the sport of boxing? How will we remember him? Rest in peace, champ. Dwight Muhammad Qawi's impact and his legacy in boxing are Hall of Fame worthy. But his legacy goes well beyond boxing. His legacy in life is that second chances are real. And even third chances, when you devote your life to helping others, as Qawi did. Okay, bear with me for a second. Okay, 1 second. Okay, there we go. I had to reset it. I missed my old laptop. Here we go. Sorry about that. Now we're ready. Dwight Muhammad Kwawi. I guess that's why some people tape their shows, but it's called a live stream, so taping it wouldn't be right. Just have to deal with things as they come, right? Okay, let's go. Yeah, Dwight devoted his life to helping others. Now, Dwight Kwawi sits proudly in the Hall of Fame, a long way from the short kid who learned to box in prison and turned pro with 1 month of working in a real gym and no amateur fights at all. Okay, his amateur record was 0-0. Wow, no amateur fights at all. And if there were a Hall of Fame for human beings, Dwight would be in that one too. Not just a Hall of Fame for boxing, just a Hall of Fame for good human beings. Dwight would be in that one too. His most important legacy is that there really are second chances, and you can change your life if you want to badly enough, and then use that chance to help other people to change theirs, as Dwight Muhammad Kwawi did. Dwight Muhammad Kwawi was born David Dwight Braxton on January 5th, 1953. Kwawi was born in Baltimore in the slums, so he grew up in equally tough Camden, New Jersey. His family was poor. They moved from one slum to another one, from the Baltimore slums to the Camden, New Jersey slums. He got in trouble early in his life, and an armed robbery charge sent him to Royal State Prison, where the tough-as-nails street kid took up boxing. Kwawi said of his upbringing, "If you were born where I was and grew up where I did, prison was just one of those things. Dope, street life, that's all we knew. Allah helped me get out of that." Yeah, prison was just, part of it. Where Dwight grew up at. Everybody he knew, most grown-ups, were either going to end up in prison or had been to prison. Prison was just one of those things. After 5 years at Rahway prison, at age 25, Kwawi was released. And with less than a month of sparring on the streets and no amateur fights at all, he turned pro. So only 5'7", if that. Most people who knew Dwight said he was actually 5'5". Kwawi said he was 5'6", right? He started his career at light heavyweight. On September 5th, 1981, Dwight returned to his old prison, Rahway, to fight James Scott, in a title elimination fight for Matthew Saad Muhammad, WBC World Championship title. Dwight won a unanimous 10-round decision. Larry Hazzard was the referee of the fight and explained how Dwight beat the feared and favored James Scott. Larry Hazzard, the referee, said Dwight rarely took a backward step against Scott. I don't know if that was because they had sparred before in prison for several years, but he had an overwhelming amount of confidence in that fight, and he came through. He was in total control of that fight from the beginning to the end. Yeah, a lot of fighters went in prison to fight Scott and didn't realize just how good and tough he was. But when Dwight went in there, he knew because he had sparred when he was in prison. So James Scott took a lot of those guys coming from the outside by surprise when he went into fighting, but he couldn't because Dwight had sparred him many times because he was in that prison too. So Dwight knew exactly what he was going up against when he went in there, and he came out with the win. Dwight said, I never wanted to return to that place, but I needed to go to get where I wanted to be at. I was supposed to be another victim for James, but I knew I was going places, even if other people didn't. And he knew James Scott because he had sparred him in prison. 4 years after beginning his pro career, with 19 pro fights and a record of 17 wins, 1 loss, and 1 draw, and his only defeat being a split decision loss in his 3rd fight, and his draw occurring in his 1st fight, Dwight won his 1st title. On December 19th, 1981, Dwight fought Hall of Famer Matthew Saad Muhammad in Atlantic City, New Jersey. In a changing of the guard, Dwight beat Muhammad on a 10th round TKO to become a world champion for the first time. Okay. He got his first world title at light heavyweight. But he did fight at cruiserweight and heavyweight. That's him and Holyfield there. Bruce Gass. What's up, Bruce Gass? Boxing, jazz, and more. We're just talking about cruiserweights today, Bruce. Now, Dwight did his best work at, probably best known at light heavyweight, but he did fight at cruiserweight. But salute, Bruce Gass. Yeah, he got his first title against Saad Muhammad, I believe it was, right? Matthew Saad Muhammad. Okay. So shortly after winning his first title, Dwight announced his conversion to Islam, and he formally changed his name from Dwight Braxton to Dwight Muhammad Qawi. He defended the title 3 times in the next 15 months, knocking out challengers Jerry Martin and Saad Muhammad in a rematch, and top contender Eddie Davis. I told you that light heavyweight division during those 80s was on fire, man. On fire. Bruce Gass will tell you. Yeah. The light heavyweights in the 80s was... On March 18th, 1983, Dwight lost a close but unanimous decision to WBA champion Michael Spinks in a unification fight, which was Dwight's last fight as a light heavyweight. Dwight was surprised by the decision against Spinks, saying, if I did get beat, I beat myself. I let Spinks run away. It was more like a track meet out there. Spinks had a lot of dog in him, though. Even though he ran, he did enough to impress the judges, I guess. I kept accidentally stepping on his feet. His feet were so big. I didn't fight as I should have. I was supposed to stay on top of him and be more snappy with my punches. Yeah, so Spinks, it was a unification fight, and Spinks won that one. But Dwight felt he won it. He said Michael just ran from him. But he said Spinks did have some dog in him, though. Now, after Spinks showed no interest in a rematch, Dwight moved up to Cruiserweight, where 2 years later, he won his second title in the second division by knocking out Payet Kraus in South Africa to become WBA Cruiserweight champion. Okay, so he's now a two-division champion. He went to heavyweight, too. Okay, we're going to get to that. Yeah. This is the guy he knocked out. I've heard these people's names, but I still don't say them right. But yeah, him. At Cruiserweight to become a champion in the second division. Two-division champion now. Two-time two-division champion. Spinks wouldn't give him the rematch at light heavyweight, so he moved up. Okay. Dwight would defend his Cruiserweight title twice before losing it to Evander Holyfield. Okay, yeah. And he had a lot to say about it, Holyfield and the steroids, too. We're going to get to that. Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah. Here we are. Okay. He lost his Cruiserweight title to Evander after two defenses. Not surprisingly, Holyfield, like Spinks, had no interest in giving Dwight a rematch. No interest in fighting him again. Just like Spinks. It was like, oh no. Holyfield said that was one of his toughest fights. He said at one point he was ready to quit, throw the towel in during that fight with Dwight. Now, though Dwight fought on, including moving to heavyweight, the little tough guy from Camden never regained the world title. He didn't win a title at heavyweight that one, but he was a two-division, two-time world champion. But when he lost to Holyfield, he never became a champion again. Now, the later part of his career was destroyed by drugs and alcohol, the bane of so many fighters. Now, years on top for Dwight. Dwight is one of the rare boxers to enter the annual top 10 as a champion, right? How many boxers do that? First time to hit the top 10, they're already a champion. Wow, not many. He was 1981 WBC light heavyweight champion, recognized by Ring Magazine as well. 1982 WBC light heavyweight champion, recognized by Ring as well. 1983, he was the number one light heavyweight contender. He had lost to Spinks then. 1984, still a number one light heavyweight contender. Spinks wouldn't give him a rematch, so he moved up. 1985, he was the number one cruiserweight contender. And he won the WBA Cruiserweight Championship that year. 1986, number 3 cruiserweight contender. 1987, number 1 IBF contender. Ring Magazine did not rank cruiserweights that year. Of the 7 years Dwight was ranked, he was either ranked number 1 or the champion in all 7 of them. And of course, his titles. He was the WBA light heavyweight champion. Took that from Matthew Saad Muhammad on December 19th, 1981. And he held it until March 18th, 1983, when he lost it to Michael Spinks. And his other title, WBA Cruiserweight champion, won that from Kraus on July 27th, 1985, and held that until July 12th, 1986, when he lost it to Evander Holyfield. Now let's look at his style, Dwight's fighting style. Thomas Hill in the building. What's up, Thomas Hill? We're just talking about some cruiserweights today on the Profile Day. We're going to do that through all the weight classes. But for now, on the profiles, heavyweight was last week. None of the big names. We're looking at some of the guys that kind of flew out of the radar at these weight classes, okay? Dwight was a champion, but he wasn't. When you're talking about top 10 cruiserweights, Dwight is not the first name to come to mind, like a Holyfield or Usyk or something. Yeah. Okay, but yeah, salute to him. Cruiserweights today. Now let's look at Dwight's style. Now, boxing historian Henry Hascup said, Dwight always reminded me of a fire hydrant. He was short, stocky, and hard as nails. I don't think I would have wanted to meet him in an alley. They used to say he was like Joe Frazier and actually trained at Joe's gym for a while. That's where he went when he first got out of prison, remember? He only trained for 1 month after prison before he turned pro with no amateur fights. But that 1 month was at Joe Frazier's gym. So now Evander Holyfield stated that Dwight was his toughest opponent. That's really saying something with Holyfield, like he was always in tough fights. And like I said, Holyfield actually said he was ready to quit in that fight at one point. Threw the towel in. Yeah, Dwight was so tough. Now the 5'7" Dwight, so he says he's 5'6". Most people that knew him said he was 5'5". He was called the Camden Buzzsaw for his bob and weave attack, but he's primarily known to other fighters for his defense. Dwight came forward in a crouch, making him hard to hit. Holyfield said Qualley was the best defensive fighter he was ever in the ring with. Holyfield said Dwight had a good defense. He'd get you before you get back home. He was short and he had long arms, okay? Said he had the wrong type of arms for his height. And Dwight's primary offensive skills were incredible energy, allowing all-out attacks from the opening bell to the end of the last round, constant pressure on opponents, right? Kind of like a Joe Frazier, or Rocky Marciano. When that bell rings for that first round, all the way up until it rings, if it goes the distance, all the way up until it rings to in the 15th round, Dwight is coming. Never slowed down. He would and could throw 80-plus punches around. He had good power in both hands, excellent ring IQ, good command of timing, positioning, and distance. He had a chin of concrete and iron mixed together, one of them kind of chins. He was only stopped twice in his career. Boxing historian James Slater noted, Dwight was that rare thing that is an action fighter who is also a superb defensive boxer. Most swarmers, come forward pressure fighters, don't worry too much about defense. But Dwight was both. He was a pressure fighter and had excellent defense, right? Now, Dwight was a master at slipping shots, while he was also an aggressive fireball or buzzsaw, like they called him, the Camden Buzzsaw. He regularly slung out a fearsome amount of leather in every round of every fight when he was fighting in his prime. His combined style of non-stop puncher, hard to nail bob and weaver, served to give some great fighters nothing but hell, okay? Incredibly, Dwight would fight George Foreman, not just fought big George Foreman, on 2 weeks' notice, right? And despite coming in 25 pounds overweight, gave George fits for 6 rounds. Foreman would later recall, I was really devastated by his energy. Dwight's ability to recover from punches was amazing. At his best, in his natural class at light heavyweight, Dwight was a generationally great fighter. Yeah, that's when you're talking top 10. That's where you think of him at heavyweight, okay? Larry Hazard, who knew Dwight very well, summed him up best. Larry Hazard was a referee, and he also was the head of the New Jersey State Athletic Commission for a while, too. So he knew Dwight very well, okay? And Larry Hazard summed Dwight up best, okay? My hand had hit the thing and lost the display momentarily. Okay, here we go. Yeah, Larry Hazard summed him up best, and he knew Dwight very well. Okay. Larry Hazard was a pretty good referee, too. Yeah. Yes, he was. Here we go. Larry Hazard knew him very well, and he summed Dwight up better than anybody. What I remember the most about Dwight was he was one of those guys who mastered that bobbing and weaving style. Coming forward, he was already a short fighter, but it was very hard for fighters to land a good shot on him. Most of his fights most of the fights he lost, he wasn't in the best of shape. But I don't ever recall him getting caught with a real good shot because he had that old bob and weave style. Constantly staying low and moving forward, and especially in his early years when he was on the rise. He was always in excellent condition. He was just a tough, talented fighter. I think later in his career, he had got into drugs and stuff. That's when the conditioning and stuff started affecting him. Yeah. Dwight had very good power, especially considering he usually fought naturally bigger men, always the smaller man, right? Dwight had 25 knockouts in his 41 wins. That's 60.9%. He had 5 of his 25 knockouts were on the canvas out for the 10 count knockouts. He knocked out one man that's currently in the Hall of Fame. Now, the competition that he fought, Dwight faced some of the best of his time. And in his prime at the light heavyweight in the 80s, that was the best decade ever of light heavyweights. He fought in that decade. And the weight class he fought in the decade where that weight class was the absolute top ever, the 80s. These are some of the top fighters he faced, okay? Mike Rossman, James Scott, that's the prison inmate guy. Like I was saying earlier, when people just came in, James Scott was beating all those guys coming to the prison and fighting because they just didn't know just how good he was and how powerful he was. But Dwight knew because Dwight was in that prison with him for a time and sparred him. So when Dwight went back in there to fight him, he knew just what he was going up against, and he beat James Scott, you know? Yeah, because he had sparred him many times when they were in the prison together. But yeah, Mike Rossman, this is some of his competition. Mike Rossman, James Scott, Matthew Saab Muhammad twice, Payette Krause, Leon Spinks, Leroy Murphy, Michael Spinks, Evander Holyfield, Arcio Ocasio, Big George Foreman, Leroy Murphy, Eddie Davis, Jerry Martin, Johnny Davis twice, Michael Greer, Ricky Parkey, and Nate Miller. Okay, that's a resume there. And that ain't even the entire resume, but that's a Hall of Fame resume right there. Dwight beat 11 and lost to 5 career-ranked opponents. And since he first fought Evander Holyfield, okay, this is what I was talking about. And when I finish this, y'all going to believe Holyfield was on PEDs too. I never suspected until after I read this. Listen to this. Now, since Dwight first fought Evander Holyfield, he raised the issues of steroids and cheating. Dwight Muhammad Quari has told people in the boxing game for decades that Evander Holyfield used steroids. To Quari, it was not an issue of whether one man beat him unfairly, but rather that boxing did not care, that cheating was accepted. And it must be said, it isn't just about Muhammad Quari saying that steroids played and still play a role in sports. that they should not. When a fighter goes from this is talking about Holyfield now. When a fighter goes from 180 pounds to 215 pounds and is pure muscle, without question, it raises steroid and PED questions about this fighter. And in Holyfield's case, it's not an accusation without grounds. Okay? Listen. First, contrast Holyfield's body before and after the late 80s to the early to mid 1990s. And it's striking. A stunning 35 pounds added and not 1 ounce of fat. The growth in his musculature was absolutely stunning. Holyfield's head also literally got bigger. That's the telltales when the head and the neck area gets bigger. That's the telltale sign. And look how big Canelo's head is. Look at Katie Taylor. That's the sure enough telltale sign of steroid use right there. And Holyfield's head also literally got bigger. And not more flesh, but more bone. Like I was saying, cranium growth alone is a surefire, strong sign of steroid use. Okay? And the major proof which has been offered that Holyfield used PEDs date back to a suspicious coincidence when a steroid lab in Alabama called Applied Pharmacy Services listed a patient named Evan Fields, who was believed to be Evander Holyfield. This place was a known steroid lab, right? Patient named Evan Fields, who was believed to be Evander Holyfield. This patient shared the same birthday as Holyfield and lived in the same neighborhood. Now listen to this. In addition, a reporter claimed when he called the patient Evan Fields' number, guess who answered the phone? Evander Holyfield. And remember what Holyfield's son name is, Evan. So he was using that name Evan before his son was even born. Then he named, well, his son was born then, but yeah, Evan Holyfield, right? I mean, Evan Fields was the name he used. And reporters say he called the number, he called the patient Evan Fields' phone number that the steroid place had, steroid lab had for Evan Holyfield, and Evander Holyfield answered. So I told y'all when I finish this, y'all gonna believe he was on steroids too. That's it right there. The reporter went to this PED steroid place and got the number for Evan Fields and called it, and Evander Holyfield answered. Sports Illustrated further alleged that in June 2004, Holyfield himself, using the patient named Evan Fields, picked up 3 vials of testosterone, glucor, a drug used during and after steroid cycles. Yeah, Holyfield was on steroids. Ain't no question about it. HGH, human growth hormone. He came there and picked up 3 vials of that. Okay? And related injection supplies from a doctor affiliated with the steroid lab. But despite all the foregoing, the chairman of the Nevada State Athletic Commission confirmed that Evander Holyfield never failed a drug test in his career. That don't mean he was on them. All his other stuff pointed to him being on steroids. I mean, the reporter went to the lab and got the number of Evan Fields, known to be getting stuff from the steroid lab, and called the number, and Evander Holyfield answered. So Evan Fields and Evander Holyfield was one and the same person. Of course, the commission also admitted masking agents could foil testing, right? He was going to get the stuff that people use when they were cycling off of the steroids, remember? So have I converted anybody? Like I said before the chat, y'all gonna believe he was on. Anybody converted? I'm converted. He was on steroids, man. He was on them. But anyway, This is an unpleasant topic for people who admire Holyfield for his fierce courage and pure heart. But it has to be discussed, especially since Quali made it a very public issue. He did not wish to hurt Holyfield, but he was hoping to change the culture in boxing and let in our greater society of cheating. Hurt him. If he's cheating, he needs to be hurt. You know, you can go in there just two people straight up clean and somebody can die. Yet alone somebody going in there with cheating. So yeah, if he was on him, he needs to be hurt. Right? Now, Dwight was horrified that society did not care about cheating or rule breaking. To Dwight, the steroid issue went beyond boxing and titles, beyond the safety risks it entailed, and it reflected a deep corruption in our culture. Dwight felt strongly that acceptance of cheating, that only making win or lose the criteria, and damn the rules, was helping destroy the fabric of the society we live in. Dwight said, "Kids need to know you shouldn't cheat to get ahead. It's hard to tell them that, whether it's boxing or anything else, if they see that no one cares how you win, just that you win." Okay? When the reports surfaced of additional allegations that Holyfield had personally picked up testosterone, Quali felt compelled to step forward yet again, and he said, "When I saw that article," this was the one where he went to the lab and picked the stuff up, right? After this happened. Quali said, "When I saw that article, it just connected all the dots for me." That's what it did for me. It gave me confirmation. It confirmed to me that it was more than just a rumor. And I said it from day one that he was using steroids. That was Dwight talking. Ask anyone who knows me. I believe Holyfield is dirty, right? And Dwight, he said it confirmed it for him. When he heard the stories about Holyfield going to this lab, picking up the stuff that people use when they're cycling off steroids, when the reporter called Evan Fields and he ran to Holyfield answered the phone, Dwight said that just connected all the dots for me. That was his confirmation. Mm-hmm. Dwight said, "I wish Holyfield and other steroids users could just be honest about it now. It used to be, it's not whether you win or lose, it's how you play the game. Now, it's not how you play the game, it's whether you win or lose." When pressed further, Dwight simply said, "It's wrong, and it's wrong not to care about it, being wrong." It's part of the legacy that Dwight Quali did care. Okay, so after retirement. Yeah, Holyfield is dirty, man. After retirement. I mean, the reporter called Evan Fields and he ran to Holyfield answered the phone. What more proof do you need? And Evan Fields was a known steroid user. Going to this place, you know, picking up these packages and stuff. But it was really he ran to Holyfield. Mm-hmm. His son named Evan, remember? But after retirement, Dwight is yet another boxer who succumbed to drug and alcohol abuse, which dramatically affected the later part of his career. Yet, he turned it into something positive, becoming a substance abuse counselor in 1998 at the Lighthouse. The Lighthouse is a drug and alcohol rehabilitation center in Mays Landing, New Jersey. His sister said he really wanted to make a difference at the Lighthouse to keep kids off the path that he ended up on. Dwight said, "My biggest problem was an inability to live right outside the ring. I couldn't live with myself the way I was. I knew I had so much left to give. What I've lost through the years physically, I think I've gained mentally. The mind is a beautiful thing." Dwight bitterly fought the pugilistic dementia, which killed him. In 2020, Dwight was diagnosed with pugilistic dementia. Over the next 5 years, he fought the biggest fight of his life. And just as he never took a step back in the ring, he faced dementia head on and fought it bitterly to the end. Dwight's sister Wanda King set up her brother and his health issues. He was a great father and a great pop to his grandchildren. He had a heart of gold, and he fought his dementia illness just like he was fighting in the ring. She also said he never gave up in his life up till the day he died. Dwight's life and legacy is proof people can change and rise above squalor and hopelessness. Dwight was born into the worst kind of poverty and ended up, like most of the kids on the mean streets he lived on, in prison. But through boxing and his faith, he rose above poverty and prison, and he not only became a world champion, but a world-class human being. His sister Wanda King talked of his work with substance abusers and with troubled youth in the community, saying, he told them to stay off drugs and alcohol and stay out of trouble. He was full of love. Larry Hazzard, referee in New Jersey's longtime boxing commissioner, said, what I admired the most about Dwight was the fact that he had spent those years in the prison and turned his life around through boxing. He was a perfect example of someone who makes their mind up that they're going to walk on the right path. He used the sport of boxing. He realized that he had some skills and that he could make something of himself through the sport. Dwight Muhammad Qawi, a great fighter and a better man, remained active in the community literally until the day he became too ill to go outside and was sober for over 26 years. He was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2004. His legacy is one of hope. Rest in peace, champ. Rest in peace. And Dwight Muhammad Qawi is in the International Boxing Hall of Fame. And if they just had a Hall of Fame for great people, he would be in that one too. Dwight Muhammad Qawi. All right. Okay. Let's talk about Carlos de Leon. Another pretty good cruiserweight. He called himself Cutie Pie. What a nickname for a boxer. Carlos de Leon. Pretty good cruiserweight, though. Mm-hmm. Carlos was. Talk about Carlos. Wow. How was everybody's Thanksgiving? Christmas is next. And then 2026. 2026. We got 5 cards this weekend. What's his name back in action? The guy dancing guy over Ben Whitaker. Kensaw Love 1. Salute Kensaw Love 1. We're just talking about some cruiserweights today on Profile Friday. How are you, Kensaw Love 1? Good to see you today. We're getting ready to talk about Carlos de Leon. How great was Carlos de Leon? There's Carlos. That's him up there. How great was he? Let's see. Now talk about a boxer who could blow hot and cold in a major way. Puerto Rican Carlos de Leon could box quite masterfully on one night, with him also showing good punching power and venom. On another night, de Leon could look disinterested and lazy. At his best, though, the man known as Sugar was indeed pretty sweet. De Leon, who made history twice, this by becoming the first man to regain the cruiserweight title, and then later by becoming the first fighter to win a cruiserweight title 4 times. He had a long career, and he faced numerous big names. The first man to win the cruiserweight title twice, and the first man to win it 4 times. Going pro in August of 1974, aged just 15, de Leon romped to 8 straight wins before he dropped a 4-round decision to Roberto Colon in 1975. Fighting at home in Puerto Rico, as well as in the Virgin Islands, de Leon was 29-2 by the time he got his first crack at a world title. having lost another fight on points, this one to Ray Hammond in 1977. Now facing Marvin Camel in New Orleans on November 25th, the fight taking place on the Sugar Ray Leonard Roberto Duran No Mars card. DeLeon edged Camel by a majority decision. The fight was no classic, but DeLeon at the young age of 21 was WBC champion, and Marvin Camel was the first ever Cruiserweight champion. Got something on him too, time permitting. Kids all over was the cutie pie, LOL. How did he get the nickname? I think he gave it to himself, Console Love one. I think he gave it to himself. You can bet the farm no other boxer gave it to him. You know. Yeah, but at 21 years old, he was WBC champion. In the rematch with Camel, DeLeon showed his power by stopping Camel in the 8th round. Then in a shocker, DeLeon was taken down in 2 rounds by S.T. Gordon. Now he bounced back with wins over Ivory Brown and Leon Spinks before he made history by avenging a loss to Gordon. This on points over 12 rounds. So that's when he became the first ever 2-time Cruiserweight champion. Then he had defenses over Yaki Lopez and Bash Ali. And then he was outworked and outpointed by Alfonso Ratliff in 1985. And quite incredibly, after that, he fought on for another 10 years. He beat Bernard Benton to become a 3-time champion. This a year after the loss to Ratliff. And then he had 3 title defenses. Then later, Sugar got the biggest fight of his career, facing Evander Holyfield in Las Vegas in April of 1988. Now, DeLeon and his bag of tricks frustrated Holyfield, forcing Holyfield to have to call DeLeon out. And Holyfield eventually did, and he stopped DeLeon in the 8th round. It was a unification fight, and Carlos lost his title. That's what gave him the opportunity to become the first 4-time Cruiserweight champion, okay? Which he eventually did. So, now aged 28 and sporting a 44-win, 5-loss record, Carlos moved on and traveled to the UK for the first of 2 fights, one of which still ranks as one of the most imaginably dull fights ever seen. First, in May of 1989, he stopped Sammy Reason in London. The win seeing him become a 4-time champion. Okay, that's when he got his 4-time champion. And because he got that belt, the WBC belt was vacated by Holyfield. So he fought this guy in England for the vacant belt and won that. So now he's a 4-time Cruiserweight champion. Then, January the following year, he boxed a draw with a wholly ineffective Johnny Nelson. Remember Johnny? Commentator on the Zone. Truly, Nelson scarcely threw a punch of any meaning the entire fight. It was shockingly bad. A real cure for insomnia. Now, DeLeon wasn't much better than Nelson, but he was happy enough to have kept hold of his belt. And in Carlos's next fight, controversy followed as he was thrown out, disqualified, for hitting Massimiliano Duran after the bell in round 11, right? And this was his last world title fight. But he went on, and he tried his hand against some heavyweights. He went 8-2 in his final 10 fights, and he got stopped by Corey Sanders inside 1 minute of the first round. And then he also lost to Brian Nielsen. He ended his career with a record of 53 wins, 8 losses, 1 draw, 33 knockouts. And he went on to train his son, Carlos Jr. And Carlos DeLeon died at age 60 from a heart attack in January of 2020. So how great was Carlos DeLeon? Was he even great at all? Carlos could box. He knew a ton of tricks and moves. And of course, he is in the history books first 2-time and first 4-time cruiserweight champion. He was a real handful for anyone when he was sufficiently motivated. At other times, Carlos appeared to be nothing special. Still, for quite a few experts and fans, Carlos de Leon ranks as one of the 10 greatest cruiserweights ever. Carlos de Leon. Okay, we're looking at a number of cruiserweights today for the profile. The next one is going to be Carl Thompson. Carl Thompson. On the day after Thanksgiving. Next, it is Carl right there. It is Carl. What's up, Carl? We're going to talk about Carl next. Yeah, we're going to go through the weight classes on Fridays. And fighters, we're not going to talk about none of the household name fighters, right? We're going to talk about some like under the radar fighters. Some were never champions, stuff like that. Like cruiserweight, no Holyfield, no Usyk, no Lights Out, Tony, none of them. Okay, we talking about the, fighters that like wasn't household names in the divisions. We're going to go all the way down to minimum weight, 105, week by week. Carl Thompson, whatever happened to the cat? That's what they call him, the cat. Now, glamour is not a word usually associated with former world champion Carl the Cat Thompson. While his fellow Mancunians worship Ricky Hatton in sellout venues at home and abroad from Manchester, right? Thompson's fist drummed out a different beat in the boxing backwaters of tough northern towns across England. But you wouldn't hear Thompson complaining. He had always done it the hard way, with power in both hands, coupled with a shaky defense and a tendency to always start fights slowly. This battle-hardened warrior has been involved in some of the most savage action ever seen in a British boxing ring. Carl the Cat Thompson. In a wildly up and down 18-year career, Thompson epitomizes the have gloves will travel attitude of a special breed of fighter. You probably can't name a British fighter in the last 2 decades who was involved in more wars and provided more thrills than Carl the Cat Thompson. Maybe Nigel Benn. After that, forget it. Thompson made an art form out of looking on the brink of defeat in virtually every fight he was ever in. A former world-class Muay Thai fighter, his boxing career got underway in 1988 with little fanfare. He reeled off 8 victories in little over a year, then was thrown in with the heavy-hitting Crawford Ashley. Ashley would later become the light heavyweight European champion and 2-time world title challenger. And Thompson was battered and stopped inside 6 rounds in that fight. That was his first really big fight against a name. Now, things didn't improve in his next few fights, dropping a decision to little-known Franco Wanyama and being stopped by future European champion Yair Davis in just 2 rounds. Now, most people might have thought about a new career path, but not Thompson. In his next fight, he surprised many by stopping undefeated Nicky Piper in 3 rounds. So this breathed new life into his career, because everybody was like, thought Carl was done, but then he came out and got a surprising stoppage in a fight that his opponent was heavily favored in. So this breathed new life into his career. He was at light heavyweight. So now he moved up to cruiserweight. Having moved up a division, his next 5 fights saw him win the British Cruiserweight title and WBC International Cruiserweight title. And by 1994, put him in line for a crack at the European champion, Massimiliano Duran. The fight was to take place in Duran's backyard, right? In Italy. Okay, be with me for a moment. Yeah, this took place in Massimiliano's backyard in Italy. Okay, but Carl had gloves would travel. He epitomized that saying. And he was now at Cruiserweight. Okay. Okay, yeah. Here we go. In Massimiliano Duran's backyard. Not literally in his backyard behind his house in his country, Italy. Okay. So Thompson knew he would have to knock Duran out to win the fight in Italy, and he did in 8 rounds. Suddenly, Thompson was the king of Europe. That was for the European Cruiserweight title. Still, there was very little interest back home in England. Right? So on his next outing, he traveled to France. Remember, head gloves will travel. Went to France. In what he would call his hardest fight of his career, he stopped Akim Tafur in 6 rounds to defend his European title, but not after taking an early beating himself. This would start to be the norm in many of his fights. Get beat up early, snatch victory from the jaws of defeat. Okay? He was a textbook, like the poster child of that, Carl Thompson. Watch some of his fights. He would be getting the crap beat out of him. And somehow he would come back and land something big, and then all of a sudden just take the fight over. Now, a year later, he got the chance he always craved, a world title fight in his beloved hometown of Manchester, England. The champion, Ralph Riccigiani, was given a sound beating. After 10 rounds, the cat was well ahead on all the judges' scorecards. But then, in a typically bizarre moment, befitting of his roller coaster career, he injured his shoulder. He couldn't go on. Riccigiani was declared the winner. And all this at his homecoming. This was back in England, where he was from. He was winning the fight. And he got hurt. This was for a real world title shot here. You can't make this up, man. God just was hard luck, man. Right? And then it took him 2 long years to get Riccigiani back in the ring, because Riccigiani can't retain this title. Took him 2 years to get him back in the ring. This time, he had to go to Germany. And this time, he again pounded Riccigiani, the champion. This time, the cat would not be denied, even if one of the judges did try to cheat him out of it by scoring the fight for Riccigiani. Suddenly, the cat was the champion of the world. Did anyone care? Not really. This was the time of Nigel Benn, Prince Asim Hamed, Chris Eubank, Frank Bruno, and Lennox Lewis. So the British fans, half of them didn't even know who to call the Cat Thompson was. Was that his name? I didn't damn near forgot it. Let me see. Yeah, call the Cat Thompson. So yeah, that was Nigel Benn, Chris Eubank, Frank Bruno, Prince Naseem Hamed was all active. So did anyone really, Lennox Lewis, care about Carl the Cat Thompson? Not really. Right? It seemed even winning a world title wouldn't give the cat the recognition he so richly deserved. Okay? Not even winning the world championship. But then he got a break. Chris Eubank admired and reviled in equal measure as these other fighters I just named, right? Moved up, not 1, but 2 weights. The former middle and super middleweight, famous for savage wars with Nigel Benn and Michael Watson, would finally place Thompson firmly in the spotlight by challenging him, okay, for his title. Chris Eubank himself moved up to fight him. So if he beat Eubank, he should get some recognition there, especially in Great Britain, right? Yeah, so Eubank come up to challenge. So here we. Oh, you mean in the Eubank fight, T. Hill? Is that the fight you're talking about? Or did I miss something back there? Yeah. But Eubank came up to challenge. Okay. Now the fight was to be staged in Manchester. That was Carl's hometown. But even then, in his own hometown, the cat had to play a supporting role to the flamboyant, eccentric, and very popular Eubank. Yeah. He was the B-side. He was the world champion in his hometown and was still the B-side. Right? Was still the B-side. This guy just, man, what's the Rodney Dangerfield of boxing? In his hometown, he's the world champion and he's still the B-side to Chris Eubank, right? In another hard-fought war, Thompson recovered from a fourth-round knockdown to win on points. So he beat Eubanks. And guess what the people said? The British fans said, we want a rematch. He didn't even get credit for beating Eubank. The people wanted him to give Eubank another chance. And the cat didn't have to give him a rematch. The cat was the champion. They said, we want a rematch. The guy just couldn't get his props, man. But he gave him a rematch, right? This time, he administered a beating to Eubank and stopped him in the 10th round. Right? So he beat Chris Eubanks twice. Yeah, he do look like Joe Frazier, Mike. He came out of Joe Frazier's gym. Fought like him too, yeah. But yeah, he beat Chris Eubanks twice. Are they finally going to get this guy his props that he deserved? But instead of basking in the glory of such a fine win, the media and public seemed more interested in the brave Frank Eubank had put up against the naturally bigger man. They still didn't give him his credit. He beat the crap out of Chris Eubank, but the British media and public was so fascinated with Eubank putting up a good fight against a bigger man. Wow. It seemed credit would elude the cat forever, right? So his third title defense would prove to be his last. His arch rival from across the peninsula, the Yorkshireman, Johnny Nelson, outboxed Thompson and stopped him in 5 rounds. Yet even then, there would be controversy with Thompson claiming the fight was ended prematurely as he was acting possum to lure KG Nelson into a mistake. Maybe it was sour grapes. Maybe he had a point. When you watch some of Thompson's subsequent fights, he seemed to have a voracious appetite for soaking up punishment and then roaring back. And the Johnny Nelson fight was a fight that rankled him for his entire life. But yeah, he never really got credit for beating anybody, right? He beat Chris Eubanks twice, and they started giving Eubanks credit for coming up fighting a bigger man, even though he got the crap beat out of him. In the next year, so he lost his title to Johnny Nelson. In the next year, the cat claimed back the British title in a Rocky-like finish against world title challenger Terry Dunstan. With just a minute left in the fight, another grueling contest, both men landed simultaneous right hands. Both went crashing to the canvas. The cat managed to haul himself back up first, while Dunstan was counted out. So the cat got the win. Only Carl the Cat Thompson could be in these kind of fights, right? 1 minute left in the fight. They both land and both get knocked down. And the cat gets up first and wins it. Only Carl the Cat Thompson could be involved in something like that, man. I tell you, this guy, wow. Then came the European title to put himself right back into the mix, right? Then a wild brawl with perennial contender Uriah Grant resulted in a 5th round knockout for the cat, in which he picked up the lightly regarded IBO crown. Still lightly regarded, but he got the IBO title. Next was an astonishing slugfest with the fearsome punching Ezra Sellers, Despite flooring Sellers twice, Thompson was himself decked 4 times en route to a 4th round loss, TKO loss. His renaissance looked over that again, it looked like it was over for him, right? But this has happened so many times to the cat. Was this like the 12th time it looked over? It looked like it was over for him again, just suffered a 4th round stoppage. He was now 36 years old and had the look of a finished fighter. Like, had the look of secondhand goods. He kept fighting though. He had 3 run-of-the-mill wins, right? But then he was handed a surprise opportunity to reclaim the IBO title. He would be up against a formidable South African, Sebastian Rothman. Okay? Sebastian Rothman. This was a classic cat fight. And while the IBO title is hardly the most prestigious crown, a chance to mix it with a world-ranked opponent would prove irresistible for the cat. Okay, so he took that fight. At the age of 39, the cat whipped his creaking and battered body into shape for one last hurrah. He was under no illusion that he was only in the ring to provide Rothman with a name for his record. The cat said he went in there to win this thing. Everybody thought Rothman, because Rothman was a world big name, and everybody think he coming in there to just get Carl Thompson's name on his resume. But the cat said, no, I'm coming to win this. Now, the fight itself. If one fight summed up the entire career of Carl the Cat Thompson, this one was it. The fight started at a whirlwind pace, and then it got wilder. Thompson was dropped in the 4th round. He recovered, sent Rothman to the mat in the 5th round. The action was seesawing until Rothman started to take control with his sharper combinations. Okay? Now, ahead on points, Rothman started the 9th round firing shots into Thompson's face with unerring accuracy. As a big right hand caught the cat, he lurched back into the ropes, hurt. He somehow took a couple of other big right hands before rolling off the ropes. The referee was watching the cat closely. People at ringside were shouting for the ref to stop it as Rothman moved in on the cat for the kill. What happened next was quite simply unfreaking believable. As Rothman cranked up a fight in the right hand, the cat, on pure instinct, got his in first with his own right hand. So powerful, Rothman was out on his feet, right? And fell forward, landing on his face. As the referee waved the fight over, the cat did it again. He fell into his cornerman's arms. He hardly had the strength to lift his arms in victory. The old warrior had done it again. Carl the Cat Thompson. Done it again. Right? The man had it, movement for the kill. Went for the swing, and the cat got his in first and knocked him out cold. Okay? So, he kept fighting, building on this great win. The cat would next meet the thunderous punching David Haye. Haye was the golden boy of British boxing. Undefeated, handsome with talent to spare. Come on, man. You can't go out now. Oh, my goodness. Bear with me for a minute. We got to finish the cat. If we don't do nothing else for the rest of the year, we got to finish the cat. Oh, boy. Yeah, but wasn't that something? He was done. The referee was watching him ready to stop it, and Rothman was coming in for the kill, but the cat got his right hand in first, and it was a one-hitter quitter. Knocked Rothman out cold. Got the IBF title back after that. Yep. Quite a guy, Carl the Cat Thompson. I'm going to have to go back and watch some of his fights, man. Always on the brink, but always found a way to win. But just couldn't get his respect from the British fans. Told you beat Chris Eubank twice, beat the crap out of him in the second fight, but the fans gave Chris Eubank the credit for coming up 2 weight classes fighting a bigger man. But he got beat up. So he don't get no credit for coming up 2 weight classes to get beat up. If Bud hadn't went up all that way and got beat up by Canelo, would we be giving Bud credit? Hell no, we wouldn't. But that's how they did the cat, man. They just did him bad. Okay, we getting back to where we was at. They did the cat bad. Okay. So here, he getting ready to fight David Haye. And David Haye was like a god over there in Great Britain when he was boxing. So they know they wanted him to put the cat on his butt, David Haye. So let's see what happened between him and David Haye. Okay, here we go. Now, after he beat this last guy, Rothman, when he knocked him out with the one-hitter quitter, he next would meet the thunderous punching David Haye. Haye was the golden boy of British boxing, undefeated with talent to spare. And Haye came into the fight with the cat and oh, come on. He came into the fight with the cat. Overwhelming favorite, okay? Despite the cat's win against Rothman. The cat had the title too, but Haye was the overwhelming favorite. And most people thought that the cat had bitten off more than he could chew going in there against the cat. I mean, David Haye. Now, Haye came out bombing, looking for the early finish. For 2 rounds, it seemed all the wars had finally caught up with Thompson. Haye's full repertoire thudded into Thompson's head. It was a severe beating, right? And then the cat didn't deserve for it to end at all for him like this. He was getting a severe beating, right? But guess what? People were starting to feel sorry for him. That's what the commentators said. It's a man's game, and no one forces anyone to fight. But they started to feel sorry for the cat the way he was getting beat up. He didn't deserve for it to end like this. But, you know, when the cat fighting, you always got to have that butt ready. However, in the 3rd round, a strange thing started to happen. Mouth agape. Haye was looking tired, very tired. Had he punched himself out? The cat finished the 3rd round with a powerful right hand that shook Haye. Haye trudged back to his corner with a worried look on his face. In the 4th round, the cat started to back Haye up. Haye was still punching back, but he looked spent. The cat, always a slow starter, was now warming to the task and applying constant pressure, keeping the fight at close range. Everybody in the audience was thinking, surely not. He can't do this again. Or can he? Not again. Can't do this again, or can he? In the 5th round, Thompson plied on the pressure. Haye couldn't keep up with him. The cat was bullying him all over the ring. Haye looked desperate. A big right hand sent Haye to the canvas. He climbed to his feet, but the writing was on the wall. Once the action resumed, the cat pounced on him. As a sickening right hand landed, Haye sunk into the ropes, resistance deserting him. The cat strode forward to finish the job. Fortunately for Haye, his corner threw in the towel, saving him further punishment. The cat then did it again. He did it again. Immediately after the fight, the cat had no thoughts of retirement, as he planned to keep on fighting. He said, "I am showing age is no barrier. I got my strength, and I know what I'm in the sport for. I will fight anyone if people pay me the money. I was on the receiving end for most of it, and I know I'm not the most talented boxer in the world, but I hung in there, and I will give anyone trouble." After those last 2 knockout wins, everybody was then still expecting the unpredictable career of Carl Thompson to end fittingly with another title shot now. After that, he just beat the IBO champion and one of the big names in the cruiserweight division at that time, David Hay. So everybody, well, yeah, the Cat gonna get another title shot. But no, nothing. So they did the Cat bad. Nothing. No, nada, zero, zilch, nothing. An entire year went by. No big fights beckoned. He had one more fight after the Hay win, which was a points win over Frederick Surratt. That was in 2005. And that was the end of it for the Cat. Yep, he was 44 years old at that time. No big fights, even after winning the IBO title, beating David Hay, one of the biggest names in the sport. Knocked both of them out. No big fights. Yep. Those brawls with Rothman and Hay, 4 years went by before he finally just gave up. The Cat retired, right? Rothman fought for a world title. After that, Hay won the undisputed cruiserweight title. But the Cat's magnificent victories over both of them went unrewarded. Yep, and there you have it. Then he gave up and just retired. You know, he said, I'm tired of beating people up, but I'm not getting nothing for it. He did win one world title, one major, though, remember, and he lost that one to Johnny Nelson, remember. I don't have the Cat's record. Let me get his record before we close the book on the call of Cat Thompson. Bad man. He just kept doing it. And none of those champions was gonna, he was in his 40s then, but none of those champions was gonna fight him. Because everybody was like, what do you have to do to beat this man? The David Hay fight, the commentators were sitting there to commentate, they was feeling sorry for him. Nobody should get beat like that. And then all of a sudden, a strange thing started to happen. The Cat ended up 34 wins, 6 losses, and 25 knockouts for his career. He was stopped 5 times himself. Called the Cat Thompson, okay. See what his knockout. He had 25 knockouts and 34 wins, about 70-something. 73% for the Cat. Okay. It's Friday. Let's finish. Let's see if anybody want to chop it up for a few minutes. Yeah, I had some fights to look at, but we don't need to look at no fights. Had Johnny Nelson. I don't want to talk about no Johnny Nelson. He was one of the another cruiserweight we was going to talk about. Yeah. When the Cat something though, y'all. They knew that Hay fight. He wasn't coming back on that one. Hay was young, strong. Cat was damn near 40. I think he might have been 40. But the Cat came back. They said all of a sudden, something strange started to happen. I will definitely have to watch some of his fights, man. I have never seen a caller Cat Thompson fight before, but I'm going to remedy that. This man just, he was the poster child of snatching victory from the jaws of defeat. But he just couldn't get his props. The Rodney Dangerfield of boxing. Can't get a break. But he kept winning. And then everybody thought, sure enough, after the Rothman and David Hay knockouts, he was going to get another title shot. But nope. You know, the champions was like, no, I ain't fighting him. How do you beat him? You know? I mean, like 50 times he thought the guy was beat. But he always came back and won. Majority of the time, the Cat came back. Not in the Hall of Fame, though. Of course not. All the disrespect he got, you know he ain't in no Hall of Fame. He should be, though. Call the Cat Thompson. Yeah. Bad man. It's Friday. We got 5 cards tomorrow. I guess the biggest name would be oh shoot. Oh wait a minute, wait. The biggest man would be who? Ben Whitaker, the one that does all that dancing and stuff. You know, him. That's from England. Then there's some cards. A couple from California this weekend. $26 should be good. We getting. I think we getting Shakur and Teofimo. You know, I got Shakur in that one. Just to skills pay the bills. You know, skills pay the Mickey Fricky bills, right, T Hill? Teofimo can't do nothing with Shakur. That would be the biggest threat to Tank in that down there is Shakur. I ain't say he would win it, but that's the biggest threat. He got the tools to do it, I think. I don't know what's going on with this link thing. It wasn't me. Let me see if it worked this time. Let me see. Yeah, there we go. Okay. There we go. Yeah. It must have been me. Right? Yeah, we had some cruiserweight fights. Holyfield and Dwight Muhammad Qawi. Of course, Tony and Jerove. I even had the Cat was one of them. I had like 5 cruiserweight fights we was going to talk about. The Cat was even one of them. Yep. What's up, T Hill? Which fight were you talking about when you said what happened, T Hill?
Oh no, when you was talking about the thing with the last fighter.
Oh, the Cat.
Yeah, the Cat.
Something else, wasn't he? Have you ever seen him fight? I've never seen him fight.
No, I haven't seen him fight. It was some information from me that I've never heard or seen. So yeah, it was cool.
Me too. I'm learning too, man. Wow. I'm gonna have to watch him though, because it just seemed like you couldn't beat the guy.
Nah, sometimes it's like that too. Sometimes people just got your number.
Right. That's when you thought everybody thought they had it, he would come roaring back.
Yeah.
And then one time, him and the guy landed at the same time, and they both went down, but he got up first, and the other guy got counted out, so he won it. Yep. What's up with you today, Tia?
Oh man, thankful to be in another one. Don't know if I deserve to be here. You know what? It was another day, man. We fulfilled some orders. We had a little bit of food that was made for us, and you know, we here. So it was always like Thanksgiving. Really is every day. Sometimes, you know, lose sight of things, man. But you know, no matter how bad it is for us, you know, it's always worse for somebody else, and then there are those who are not here. So yeah, man.
You got to count your blessings every day, man. That is so true.
I know that, you know, the people that helped these people who came over here to start this holiday, so to speak, this tradition, you know, they were taken advantage of in the worst way. They showed these people kindness and showed them how to make their way here in a foreign land.
Yeah.
And you know, unfortunately, they got mistreated in the process, and they did all types of things to take over. But in the spirit of being thankful, yeah, man, you can be thankful every day. So with that, man, you know, I'm glad people got a chance to spend time with their families, eat some good food, and make some good memories. And that's more so what it is for me. Yeah, exactly. So I hope everybody else's was good as well too, man, because you know what I'm saying, every time you need to hit the reset button, and that's a day to hit the reset button.
That's exactly what it is. To relax, get everything back together, start all over again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in that, it was a great day, man. I hope everybody else's was too.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, I don't knock anybody who doesn't celebrate. I don't knock anybody who does, man. It's just
Yeah.
that it's personal. So like whenever I extend greetings, I never say, happy. I'm saying, yo, if this is a day that you come together to celebrate and get together with your family, or if you're just taking advantage of this day because you now get to spend some time with your family and you don't have to go in and do the normal rigmarole or things like that, man, I wish you all the best. Because, the way that they make things nowadays, they devise it so that they could divide us and start the thing on.
And then everything is so monetized nowadays, man.
And then,
money they can get out of everything,
Now, for sure. Everything.
Yeah.
Kaz, everything is about this almighty dollar.
Mm-hmm.
And then second to that is the demographic behind it. Like they're always going to paint it a certain way for certain folks or certain demographics. So it's never going to change, man, because we the people don't want to change. It takes everybody to make the change, man, and they got to start with the people that's most greatly affected. And sometimes, so it is what it is, man. I was, it's just been wild, man. These past couple of days have been wild, especially building up to the holiday, but also the amount of information. Go ahead.
No, I just said I know y'all was busy in your line of work,
Oh, yeah, because I remember 2 years, was it 2 years ago, 3 years ago, when you first did your show? It was around the same time.
Yeah, it was right around this time.
It was your fourth show. It was your fourth show that you did, but I saw you pop on, and it was like...
It was Thanksgiving week, my first show. It was.
It was 1:00 in the morning, man. And I was like, what's Kaz doing on? And I heard you talk. I was like, hey, what's up, Kaz? So, you already know how it go.
Yeah.
You got to prepare.
It was like 5:00, wasn't it? That morning. That was that one, wasn't it? Yeah. I think, Thomas Hill popped off. Yeah. Yeah, let me see. There's the cursor right there.
Yeah, I don't know what happened right there.
What's going on in the world of boxing?
Okay, so what would you like to talk about? Because we got some time to talk.
Nothing too big this weekend going on.
Nah, it's next weekend. The Roach Pitbull fight card, which is a good fight card, and it's going to be coming on. Roach not making the 14-day out weight limit.
Yeah.
Tank bringing him up, And my man being brought up couldn't even at the next weight class meet the 14-day limit. So yeah, so
he was at 130.
So
14 days. Wow.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So maybe he wasn't as small as people thought he was.
It should have been came up a long time ago.
But a lot of fighters do that for the most part. So,
and then they can add on all that weight at fight night.
Yeah, as they get older, you know what I'm saying? Get older, get more to their natural size, and it ain't that easy to do it no more. So now they can operate at the natural size. And then there's, they're
gonna stay up there now. Then,
so with that being the case, man, I'm gonna go into what's the biggest elephant in the room, man. Whenever there's nothing to talk about, who is the person that they will talk about?
Everybody want to go to the Tank.
So with that, man, I'm gonna say this because things just don't make sense to me, and I'm gonna ask you because being it was part of your profession. Now, when you have a history of doing something, that history always gonna precede you and follow you, understandably. Okay. So we have an instance of him 5 years ago dragging somebody out of an arena, and it looks forcibly. So guess what happened 5 days later? He got a knock on the door. They came over there. They apprehended him, took him in there, questioned him, and did some things. He had to do a little bit of bid. Had to post bail and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
Then we're going to predate it just a year ago. Somebody called and alleged on the phone call that she was beat by him. The next day. This is the next day. This time is the next day. They come, questioning, apprehend him. He do some time in jail.
Mm-hmm.
He is now, after that, hit and run somebody in which he had served jail. And remember, the judge did not want to let him out on probation, and especially out of the state, but reluctantly allowed him to go out of state, barring that he stays and adheres to certain standards and regulations that regulate the probation, correct?
Yeah,
you would know this, right? You would know this, right?
Yeah.
Of all people, you know this. Okay, so
in most situations, they let a person pursue their occupation, you know.
Okay, so I say that, and I'm gonna preface it with this, and then I'm gonna get to what I'm gonna say. Yeah. Bill Cosby, off of allegations, guess where he was and where he is in jail. Michael Vick, off of just name recognition, because his name was on the property with the dogs and everything. It was his people, but it wasn't him.
He wasn't in jail.
He was in jail, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, so this man getting let off on probation from jail, reluctantly allowed to go to Florida from being in jail on probation, goes out there, grabs somebody by their neck and pulls them by their hair off of a stage. Mm-hmm. And drags them through the thing. Mind you, there's security and cameras. Nobody catches this.
Right.
Nobody in the audience. And we live in a day and age where people be catching people that are famous. Or if they see somebody famous, they'll say, hey, world star. And if they don't have a camera, they'll go tell it to anybody who was listening. Hey, yo, man, Tank was wilding, bro. He was up in the club and he pulled this girl by her neck and dragged her by her hair.
And real quick here, somebody gonna start filming it, right?
Yeah, or at least recount it, right?
Yeah.
Somehow, some way, you gonna know.
That is.
Okay, so this is the thing, and then I'm gonna get to what I gotta say because of what I said prior to this. The only person to see the film is an affluent influencer by the name of Jake Paul. The police have the film of him supposedly doing this, and they didn't do anything to charge him. Now, remember, he drugged somebody out 5 years ago. 5 days later, they came back. The next time they had to deal with him, and this is the same county, somebody called and allegedly said he got beat. They got beat on by him. They came the next morning, picked him up, took him to jail. They got him on film this time doing it. Dragging some woman by force against her will out there, kidnapping, aggravated assault, attempted assault and battery. All of these things violate the probation that the judge who reluctantly let him go out of the state put in order. So that judge, hearing these things, should first and foremost extradite him back and remand him to jail. The police department who got this, knowing that they dealt with this a couple of times, should have put him in jail. And the club should have done something to make sure that they had ensured the safety of people furthermore by letting him get apprehended and letting him walk. So they also are part of this. If this thing truly happened, the judge, the police department, and the club, and the people that own the club got suits coming to them, man, because there's no way he can violate his probation and still be in and out turkeys on Thanksgiving for folks in his neighborhood. Mm-hmm. Make that make sense, Cass, because you worked in this field. You know it. How does that work? Explain that to me.
I don't think it happened. If they had all that on him, you know where he would be at, you know?
We got on allegations Bill Cosby in jail. Nobody saw it. They alleged he did it. He's in jail. You got Michael Vick, who wasn't even there, just his property in his name, in jail. You got him being on camera 5 years ago, dragging her out, them coming back and taking him in. You got it the next time they had to deal with him, the next day, off of an allegation, but this time they got visible proof. And he's still out?
I don't think they have it.
Kaz, I say that because I say this. Tank ain't never got more money than Bill Cosby. Bill Cosby, one of the richest people that walked this earth as our people. So he couldn't have paid them more than what Bill Cosby could have paid, and didn't keep Bill Cosby out of jail. He didn't have more money than Michael Vick. He had over $100-something million contract. So how are they not able to escape jail, but he is, and he violated probation?
He didn't do it.
Some ain't washing out, and if he did do it, that means the police department in Dade County, the people that own that dang club, and the judge all playing a part of this. They all are complicit in him being able to be a menace to society and do things like this to somebody else. If this is quote unquote his profile and it fits the picture, people hate this dude so much that they are willing to believe anything to see him fall and falter. That is crazy to me. And I was called a weird ass nigga because of this. Because it just don't make sense to me.
Let's see what Jar think about it. We got Jar up here too.
What up, Cass? Peace and blessings. It's been a minute since I've been up on your panel. And you already know what it is, T Hill. Peace and blessings, man. I wanted to ask T Hill, dude, when Tank was talking about Jake Paul and what's his name, J. Leon Love or something, and he was like, if anything happened, then I'ma F you up, like, or something. Was it had something to do with that?
That's interesting. What do you think, T Hill?
Oh, my bad. I was on mute. What'd you say again, Ja? My bad. You said something about Javion Love.
And Jake Paul.
And Jake Paul. Remember Tank was saying at the press conference.
Yeah.
He was like, if anything happened, and he was like, he said he was going to F both of them up.
Yeah. See what? That's
what was
thing.
that about? I don't know what he was even talking about.
See, that's the thing. Because of stuff like that, it makes it easy for you to get him or target him. He sets himself up at times by the people he puts around him, and also some of the things that he says in public. You're not supposed to ever make threats like that. So, they could have used that. I'm gonna say this though. I don't know what that was that transpired, but this is what I do know. The person who is the alleged victim, right? She put a report, right? The report, at first she denied the press charges, but then later the article that came out that everybody says got him cooked said that she pressed charges. So if she pressed charges, he should be remanded to custody and extradited back up to Baltimore and put in the jail. Because a lady who reluctantly gave him bail said if she would ever hear of him doing something wrong to violate the probation, she would put him under the jail. So that doesn't wash right this. Then check this. That same girl who said that he did this, that they're saying he did this to, gave the name of Courtney Rossell. Now, let me show you how flagrant this is. There's no Courtney Rossell. There's no Courtney Rossell. Now, Courtney is her best friend, and she often is in relations with Lonzo Ball. I think her name is Courtney Harris. Her last name is Rossell, but her first name is Allie. Why would she give a fake name in this report? See, none of this stuff. And how would Jake Paul have access to the video when nobody else could? And who is he that they would... Go ahead.
They don't have no video. Because if they did, they would have got him. They would have arrested him. It's all made up. I think.
Yeah. I feel like for him to talk about it publicly, it's like a what do they call that? Like some type of misconduct, or like if you got a case going on and then they publicly, so like that's weird too. Yeah. Like Jake Paul coming out and talking about what's weird.
Exactly.
But he would never charge for nothing, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Do you feel like Jake Paul really trying to duck Tank?
See, now there's the thing. Now this is what I'm saying. This is all I'm saying, because I'm not defending Tank. I'm saying if he's guilty, then these people got paid. They got hell to pay, because they didn't do their jobs, and they're letting it happen, and they're allowing somebody who was a deviant to walk the streets and further do things to somebody else. So that's one. That's misapplication of power and responsibility. Two, if it didn't happen, then this is character assassination at the highest order. And three, if it didn't happen, and given the way things are washing out, maybe them dudes that he had brought in to spar to help him get prepared and ready for it was putting them beats on him.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
And
I don't know nothing about the like what's going. But I was thinking they was lining Jake up, so they get to fight him, then they gonna know exactly what they want to do to him.
Well, I don't know if it's that. I just don't know if the tickets was really selling, or if it was the fact that he just was getting handled in the sparring by some real boxers, because these is real boxers that he brought in. This ain't no MMA fighters or no celebrity guys or anything like that he's been dealing with, and the younger dudes along the same demographic as Tank. Maybe they was getting off. I don't know, but whatever I do know, this whole case is strange to me. And Kaz, that's why I'm asking you.
Yeah. It just don't rest. Nothing adds up in this. Nothing.
What up, BVL?
What's up, BVL? Yeah. Nothing adds up in this. Not like a real case up like this really happened. He would be in jail.
I don't know what he said, cause talking about Tank. Yeah, I mean, maybe he is ducking Tank, because like how that sparring would go with Shakur, Keyshawn, Raymond Ford, and who was the other one? The one Tank was beating up on the sparring, and they was arguing. Them people he had sparring with him, Jake would have been the odd man out in that sparring, meaning like he's supposed to be the one to spar everybody back to back, like, but he don't have them rounds in him like the rest of them got in them. Like he would be more like a sparring partner for one of them, where like he could probably do 3-4 rounds. But ideally, you would want him to spar 2-3 rounds with each of them fighters, but he wouldn't be able to handle that. He's just not that type of caliber of a fighter. So it's very possible that he got beat up on this sparring if they did.
It's possible. It's also possible that the numbers didn't do well. It's possible many things. It's also possible that this fight with Anthony Joshua could be a bigger fight for him too. And it's a fight that, if he do lose, it wouldn't look as bad, because this is a bigger dude that he's getting in the ring with. But Chaz, I wanted to say this one thing, because Al Booger said it. They got the actual reputable news outlet reported this is USA Today. So they saying that the video was out there and that but see, this is the thing. If they got him on video, go ahead. Yeah, it's on USA Today.
How come the police don't have him in jail?
That's my problem. And you knowing this because you worked in the field.
Yeah, man. You can't believe what the newspapers outlets say. You can't believe nothing these news outlets say neither, man.
Yo, Cass, he dragged somebody out 5 years ago. 5 days later, they came and picked him up.
The news outlet said it. That don't mean shit.
Where you said work for the FBI? Do you work for the FBI, Cass?
Who?
OG Cass.
Me?
Yeah.
No, I don't know if he worked for the FBI, but what I'm saying is, whatever's going on, this stuff is strange. Whatever's going on.
All right.
Yeah.
Whatever's going on, this stuff is strange, and I don't understand why he's still walking around free, having done what he did. You know what I'm saying? I don't get it. I don't know what's going.
If they had,
but it wasn't even.
It would not be.
But they saying it wasn't even a criminal case in the first place, though. He was supposed to be getting sued, right?
Yo, it's not a criminal case if they file a civil thing, but if even if it's not a criminal case, these things he did, if it's on video, they got video of it.
They would
He's
still
supposed
have
to be
to
sent
arrest
back
him.
to jail because that's a violation.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what's going on, bro. I don't know what it is, but there got to be some serious favors going on for him to still have his freedom, for him to still be out passing turkeys, and he violated his probation.
It is a character assassination, like you said.
That's all.
I feel like that's pretty obvious.
I don't
out of everything that's said, the
People
character assassination is the most obvious part.
But like I said, if it is true, then that means these people, they got some things that they got to answer to, because there's no way he should be walking right now free handing out turkeys. That's real rap, now, and that's just being. He should not be able to go up to another person and put them through this type of situation or this type of ordeal.
It's not. It ain't true. Probably more than likely, because these people would not put themselves in that position. Cause they gonna have to get locked up as well.
Yeah. And where's this video? Who got the police? The news
No,
office got the video.
The police have the video from the publication. They had a video. The newspaper, somebody from the newspaper got to watch it via a phone video thing. So they supposedly have seen it and is verifying that it's true.
Yeah.
If this is true, how did they allow him not to be apprehended? Like I said, remember the first time he drugged somebody out, they came back 5 days later and picked him up. The second time, she just called and said it happened. They came the next day and picked it up. How is it over a month and they got visual evidence of him doing this and he's not been picked up?
Well, what they got visual evidence of, though?
Ain't no
I don't
way.
know. Whatever took place in the club that they said stopped everything and got him to the point where he got a civil suit. So I don't know what it is.
Him dragging somebody, it might not be what they saying it is.
It might not even be him.
Yeah.
It might not even be a video of him at all.
No. Can't be.
I doubt it. Like I doubt that anybody confirmed that they seen him doing something.
That's now you know a newspaper gonna show that shit on TV if they got that. A newspaper.
That's what I'm saying. Like
no
everybody
law stopping them from doing that. If they had him dragging somebody out of a club, that would have been all over the TV.
Yeah, what's it called? TMZ.
The First Amendment allowed them to show
for sure. TMZ would have had that for sure.
Yes, they would.
That's what I'm saying. Not even TMZ. Nobody. Like, how is this? How are they suppressing this stuff? Like, how are they suppressing this? And how is he still able to be free?
It's not even news. Yeah, it's not even news at all. Matter of fact, nobody done even reporting on this except for like people on YouTube. But nobody else even care about it, honestly. Nobody else even like Netflix. I didn't even know that somebody said they didn't want to be on the same card as him. I heard
that's what the women said. The women said because of the news, they didn't want to be on the card with him.
Yeah, but I heard that from a YouTube channel though.
You gonna mess up your money because of something you heard.
I'm saying like Netflix ain't. I watch Netflix all the time. I ain't hear nothing about nothing like that.
And this girl, I think it was Baumgart that don't want to be on the card. She gonna mess up a check because of something she heard, ain't seen, don't have no proof of have just because she heard it. I don't want to be on the card. It's just plain ignorance and stupidity, man.
But that's what I'm saying. See, that's where your reputation precedes you and follows you. Like he has the one incident where he took the one girl out the stadium.
Idiot would say.
Then there was the incident of him hitting and running.
So what about the next card she on? Somebody say, well, this tried to rape somebody. Or she ain't gonna want to be on that because somebody said that about with no proof or nothing?
Yeah, that's already been debunked anyway, because there's some fighters, like y'all said, Jake Paul already got a history. It was Baumgartner though?
I don't know. I don't know, but none of this stuff makes sense to me. So I don't understand how all of this stuff could be taking place and he'd still be free. That stuff right there. And you know, you get people saying you defending him. I'm not defending him. I just don't understand how he's able to be out free having all this stuff.
I'm looking at the facts. I'm not defending him.
Was it Baumgartner saying that though?
Yeah,
or was
said,
it somebody else?
It was both of them, Baumgartner and the other lady. Said they didn't feel comfortable on the court.
And they ain't seen no video, but they heard that
because it was pretty much given the fact, and then you got this news article coming out saying that they've seen video of it. So, like I said, everything seems like it's
No, it sound like Jake. It sound like Jake told them to say that. So
they ain't seen no damn video.
Well, how does Jake have that much power? That's what I want to know. How does he have that much power?
Because they on his card. They on, and you know how much credit he get for supporting women's boxing.
But it's a criminal thing. You can't supersede the power and the authority of it.
It's not a criminal thing though. They said he was being sued.
I don't know, man. It's just strange to me. All of this is strange to me, man. And you know, like I say, man, I don't know what's going on. I'm definitely not defending him. But what I do know,
people hate Tank and starting up all this nonsense.
It's crazy. Not like
they didn't like Tank in the first place.
It's not that much power. It's more like it's just propaganda. It's just talking,
that's all
like gossiping and stuff.
Or if it's true, then it's a lot of corruption. And they're going to have to tear down that corruption, man, because there's no way he should be walking free. Period, point blank. If he did this thing, he should not be able to be out there to do it to somebody else or anyone else. He should.
The more you say that, it make it sound like it's not true.
Let me tell you this to you. Now, if that really happened, and the police and everybody in on hiding it, they would have not allowed the newspapers to get it and come out there and say they got it in the first place if they tried to.
Again, that don't make sense, right? So none of this stuff is adding up, bro.
It's all nonsense, man. It's all nonsense.
Yeah.
And if the newspapers had it, it would be on the news. That's what the news does. That's how they get paid.
Yeah, it's strange.
You see in the news, somebody like they got something on Tank like that, they gonna show that. They bring them ratings and stuff. Why would they hold something like that, man? They ain't got this shit Tank drag nobody nowhere, man. People need to stop it, man. You can't believe everything you hear all the time, man. Stop it.
I don't know. I just know that it's gonna be interesting how this. It's gonna be
shit, man. That would be all over the news, everywhere.
Nah, it would. You would believe it would be.
Some news outlet got it. It would be. I guarantee.
When Michael Jackson was accused of what he did, it was all over the news.
Yes.
When Bill Cosby was accused of what he did, it was all over the news. When Michael Vick did what he did, it was all over the news. When Tank did what he did,
it would be all over the news.
When he did it with remember when she called and said she got beat down? They came and they snatched him. It was all over the news, but yet this not all over the news. I don't understand this.
Nowhere. But news outlets got it, but it ain't all over the news. Come on, man.
I don't understand it, man.
Y'all need to wake up. People need to wake the hell up, man.
It's crazy, bro.
For the news. If they had that, it would be all over the news.
So
that would stop the newspaper. This is something called the First Amendment to the Constitution. Allows news outlets to show that type of shit. There's no law stopping them from doing it. So if news outlets had that, it would be all over the news.
You would think, right?
No, I
would, because
you would know, right? You would know.
Even if they lying, they could still put it on the news.
That's ratings for them.
Yeah. They don't even
but if you don't put it on the news, then it must be a reason why you're not, right? Because if you do put it on the news and you're lying, then that's a lawsuit. That's a lawsuit.
Right.
So either way, there's a lot of lawsuits that are about to happen after this, because if it did happen, these people let him walk the street. That's a lawsuit. She gonna sue the heck out of these folks.
Yeah.
And if it didn't happen and they doing this to his name to just stop him from being able to do things, then that's a lawsuit, bro. But it's just strange that it's this way. I've never seen, so, something like this before.
Let me ask you something, T. Hill. Let me ask you something. 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 T. Hill. Let me ask you someth
People need to wake
So,
up, man.
so when it comes to opportunists in this situation, like say you is woken up, like Cass said, people need to wake up.
Yeah, come
Say you
on.
is woke on it, but you reporting on it, but you not. You just giving information that is triggering to people who is ignorant to it.
Yeah.
Like, is it a good opportunity for that to gain more traction? You there, T Hill?
Like I said, because me, I'm not saying anything is not true. I'm just saying if things are true,
Mm-hmm.
then there's a lot of corruption going on right now because there's no way he should be able to be giving out turkeys for Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
His money, his scope, his power should never succeed. And Jake Paul should not have no thing, power, or jurisdiction to say, you know what? I don't want you to push this stuff out. We just gonna keep this under wraps. Nor does he have the right to say, "Hey, I got to see that thing." He's not no one of great importance that they would do that. It's criminal.
Pay no attention to Jake Paul. He wouldn't stop the news from showing it. Reporter coming to the news station say, "I got this video of Tank dragging that girl." The editor, whoever gonna say, the producer of that news station gonna say, "Run that tonight, 6:00." They ain't gonna say, "Oh, don't show it," because Jake Paul said, "Don't show it," though. Hell no, man.
Because it's scandal.
Wake up, man. Wake up, people.
It's scandal. It hits the presses hot. It hits the presses hot. Everybody's coming up, lining up at the door, like, yo, trying to get the story on this. But they suppressing it.
But
so if they're suppressing it, yeah, if they're suppressing it, then that means something big is going on.
Wow.
Well, I mean, it ain't been let out. It's only been one. It's only been one.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. They don't have it.
Yeah, I'm starting to think so too. But if they do have it, then there's a lot of problems that's about to happen, man, because they're suppressing.
You ever heard of a thing called an anonymous source?
Yeah, for sure.
It would be out if anybody got a tape of Tank dragging that girl. The public would be to seen it, man. Okay. Somebody would be to let it out somewhere.
I don't know, man. I don't know. All I know is that it doesn't wash. It's something funny about this whole damn thing, bro. Nothing is adding up. Nothing is adding up.
The only thing that makes sense is it didn't happen that way. They might have a tape of him outside the club arguing with somebody or something. They don't have no tape of him dragging a woman out of no club.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like I say, man, I can't wait to see the end of this so we can actually get back to fighting, boxing, and things like that, because there's too many people dedicating stuff to stuff that just don't make sense. This whole case don't make no sense. Period. Point blank.
People buying anything, man. People will believe anything nowadays. That's what it boils down to. Somebody
but like I said,
Cass Sports killed the man yesterday. It'd be all over YouTube. Y'all remember that guy over there at Cass Sports? He used to be with the JBT. He murdered somebody. That's because somebody said it. And I'm on here talking to y'all.
Yeah, no doubt.
People take shit and run with it, man.
No, you're right about that, man.
Enough people start
but Cass, if it did happen, though, if it did happen, it's going to be a lot of hell to pay.
Yeah.
It's a lot of hell to pay because, he's got that record. On top of that, he's in that state alone's got 2 prior things where they had to drop. One, they dropped charges because she said it wasn't true. The other one, it wasn't anything major. So he just had to do some penance or something like that.
I haven't been following it because I don't pay such a nonsense like that, man.
Nah, I feel you on that. It's just that like I said, you got a lot of people who got a lot of weird energy when it comes to Tank. And they overly defend him or they overly convict him of a lot of things. Right. There's like very few neutral ground with Tank. So, somebody had asked me on a thing and, it got me to thinking like, bro, none of this stuff is making sense. Like, I don't understand why he's still able to be free right now, given the fact that he was on probation. and
Yeah.
that
didn't break no
violates.
law or nothing. You can't lock
That's
them out
crazy.
if they broke the law.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be more important for him to be able to hand it out turkey stuff.
No, it would be, but not if you're doing things that violates your ability to be able to be out there. Because remember, they let him go on probation, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's a violation of probation. He can't
Just
be in there doing.
Just because somebody lying on him, that don't mean people should go without their turkey stuff.
No. I understand that. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying
What
that
you on
if
probation
it
for, T Hill?
for remember that hit and run.
Okay, the hit and run. Now, see, if he,
I thought he
had
was off
another
of
hit and run,
probation for that.
sometimes when you on probation for a certain thing, and then you do another certain thing.
Oh, it don't count against it.
Sometimes they don't just snatch you up. Sometimes, you know?
Okay, bet. So then it could be then. It could be.
But that's something serious though, like an assault like that, man. You know.
Would that not violate it?
I don't know about that one, man. And then it's a different state. No, I don't know. It's a whole lot goes into that, man.
Yeah, because I'm not really abreast of things of the law. That's why I'm saying I'm asking you because I don't know. But
the judge is aware of it. You know that it happened.
Well, I mean, if we're aware of it, I'm pretty sure she gotta be aware.
Yeah, I think if they had video of him doing that, man, he would be back. He would be in jail, man.
Yeah, wouldn't that's what I was saying. I mean, there was video the one time 5 years ago, and they came and got him 5 days later. Then the next time, like I said, she made a call. Another person made a call on him, and they came and got him the next day. It's been over 30 plus days, and this dude is still out.
Did the woman press charges on him for that?
They said in the article that she didn't initially, but then she decided to. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
It didn't happen because
I'm not gonna say it didn't happen, but if it did happen,
I'm gonna just say it didn't. I'm gonna be on the side. Let's say it didn't happen, just to say it, like, cause that's what people want to hear. Like, it didn't happen. That didn't happen. Tank ain't drag her from the attic down to the second floor into a secret room in front of everybody, then beat her up in the parking lot. And
the police
well, it never said she had physical damage on her, so I don't think he ever said he beat her. It just said that he forcefully took her off the stage, removed her off the stage.
So what did they have tape of though?
Huh?
What they supposed to have video of?
Of that scene of wherever she was, him grabbing her and taking her against her will.
Yeah, that ain't happening.
He would be in jail.
The way they say he dragged her, say he dragged her. She got dragged by her throat and by her hair. Yeah, that ain't real.
I don't know if the judge up here would have violated him and brought him all back up here for it, but the police down there would have him in jail if he did that.
Okay, so the judge out there, that's one of the questions I was going to ask you. Do they have the judge out here have the power to, once they get notice of that or wind of that, request to see the video, and if they don't like what they see in the video, say, hey, nah, you got to come back? Or no, they can't do that?
She would let whatever jurisdiction it happened in do what they're going to do with. Where was it at? Florida?
It's in Florida, yeah, Dade County.
She would let the people in Florida take him in jail and charge him whatever they're going to do with him, and then she might violate him when they get finished with him.
Oh, okay, so she would. Okay, got you.
But there ain't nobody doing nothing, so that's why I say it didn't happen. Florida ain't locked him up. The judge up here ain't worrying about it. So where's this video at, man? That's why I don't understand.
Well, they say they got the video. They say they got the video. They say it's out there.
Who said they got it? Who said they got it?
USA Today. USA Today said it. They said they saw it. Somebody that's a representative of USA Today said they saw the video on
How come it wasn't in the USA Today? Did USA Today put a picture of it in their paper?
That's what I'm saying. It's strange, man. This whole thing is strange.
Ain't seen shit, man.
A representative of them.
Why wouldn't they have it in their newspaper?
Yeah.
That's bullshit, man. That's how they get ratings and sell papers and shit.
I wouldn't tell nobody. If I knew the truth, I wouldn't tell him that, because then you could get more traction and attention if you just keep him like that. Anytime you feel like talk about Tank and you don't got nothing else to talk about, then you could just
USA Today make money? Don't they make money by selling newspapers?
Yeah, articles, right? Definitely. Yeah.
So if they got a picture of Tank doing all this, why ain't it in the paper to try to sell papers?
I'm not sure, bro. Like I said, I don't understand none of this. None of this stuff is making sense to me. But what I do know is that, if he did do it, there's a lot of people that's going to be in trouble. A lot of people. Because he's not supposed to be walking around right now, given the situation that he has himself in.
And to take it a step, this is the last thing I'm going to say. Just take it a step further, T. Hill. Are you saying that somebody's blocking them from putting it in the paper?
I'm not saying it. I'm saying that if the people, because supposedly the police have this information, been had this information. Right. They've had the video and everything. Nobody, we only heard it through a internet outlet. And then we just got confirmation of a video not too long ago through USA Today. That's the only thing we've heard on that. And that's ironic because he is a high profile celebrity, so to speak. Yeah. Right. That stuff hits the news like shockwaves. That's not backstory news material. That's front page material.
So why wouldn't USA Today show it?
And that's what I'm not. That's what I'm saying. I don't know what's going on. Like, and shout out to Miss Sewell. She said that maybe somebody got tipped off or paid off or something like that. I say that only because Bill Cosby got mad money and mad connections. When they said stuff of him, once they found him guilty, he was in there.
What exactly do you mean when you say somebody got paid off?
I don't know. Because if he did it, he's supposed to be in jail, right? If he did it.
The only thing that I can't get past is how the newspaper if they got video, why they holding it?
The newspaper, they I don't know if they got it. I think what they said was a representative from the paper who reached out to these people saw the video on the conference phone. So they seen evidence of the video.
Tank should be getting paid then. They should be paying Tank off to let this go.
Lying, their representative is lying.
Now, this is the thing. If they're a reputable paper like USA Today, they can't be out there false reporting stuff. That's what makes it believable because they're saying it. Like they're saying that this is certain. They seen the video. That's what I don't understand. Like I don't understand it. It just doesn't make sense to me. And it doesn't make sense. The thing that really doesn't make sense to me is that he's still free. When this is in direct violation of the reason why he is free.
Tell you what's going on with the USA Today. Somebody that told them they saw it. They don't have no proof of nobody seeing it. They're just going on what somebody told them.
Yeah, it's strange. It's strange.
They haven't seen no video, man. No,
it's strange.
They going on
people. They seriously be selling newspapers still.
Yeah, it's he say she say.
Yeah, they still sell newspapers, but they also do the print over the internet as well too. So they got the paperback and they got the ones that's paperless now.
He say she say though. That's what it is. He say she say.
And that's the thing. It could just be that.
Thing. It's just like, yeah.
But yeah, man, I didn't mean to rile nobody up. I just wanted some understanding, man, because I don't understand this case, bro. I really don't. I don't understand how.
Make people see, man. You just can't believe everything you hear, whether it's the news or whoever. You can't believe everything you hear, man. You can't.
This case.
I don't care who it. What is not even no reputable news outlets left.
Well, I don't know how USA Today. I know they used to be a big one. I know the New York Times is huge, and they would have something on it because they're one of the source of it. You got the LA Times. They would have something. I have not seen anything, but
Nobody.
So it's just crazy, bro. But I do believe that if he did it, that there are going to be a lot of people that's going to be in trouble because of the fact that he's still able to be around right now.
News agencies and stuff holding the video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's I heard up there.
Yeah.
The news show everything on anybody.
Man, talk about it. Talk about it.
Jake Paul gonna be in trouble, like either way.
And I don't feel like Jake Paul is powerful enough to do some stuff like that. He don't have that stronger hold of. You would have to have some inside connection, or you would have to have somebody. You would have to have something on somebody to do something like that. I don't believe that at all.
No, but he's powerful enough to trick a dummy into just making some stuff up so he could.
Oh, okay. You're saying going after the girl and making her do some stuff like that. Oh, that's
He's powerful enough to maybe trick a Baumgartner and another lady to say they don't want to fight on the card with Tank.
Exactly.
So maybe that's why we don't have anything out there right now, because if she does go forward with it, it could be something that can be liable or slander, and that's something you can sue for. So maybe that's why it is. I don't know. I don't know, but what I do know is crime.
You don't have to be Jake Paul. You could start a YouTube channel tomorrow and be powerful enough to trick somebody into not wanting to fight on the same card as Tank.
Yeah.
Because of some fake made up story.
I don't think that fight was ever going to come to fruition. I never really believed it, but when it became true, I was thinking that maybe it was because they're trying to build relationships with promoters. But I never did believe that it was going to come through. But this stuff that didn't happen since then is wild, and I don't understand none of that.
And I guarantee you, before this even happened, Alicia Baumgartner probably never cared for Tank. No way.
Probably not.
So that's why
I think Alicia Baumgartner liked Tank, but I think she's easily manipulated.
That could be it too. Yeah. That could
and
be
I think that Shakur and them, they might have want to step on Tank. They might have want to mess with his money, because I think they beat Jake up to show him because I never heard nobody really talk about. There's no chance Jake could win this fight.
Yeah.
Nah. I'm not gonna say that about Shakur and them, but what I will say, somebody's money that they would try to stop ain't Tank. It's gonna be Al Heyman, because Al Heyman is the big figure.
Or Jake. They might try to stop Jake money or use him.
But I wouldn't even say that. I just don't know what's going on right now, man. I just trying to make sense of things, because it just don't make sense to me.
I haven't really been following it, man. But I just don't believe this tape thing, man. I just don't believe that.
Nah, I feel you, Kaz, man. Like I said, I didn't want to get you riled up, man. I just wanted to just get you.
Once the news gets something, it's gonna be out there.
That's what you use.
They actually got it.
You use. I mean, case in point.
You're gonna see it.
That thing with the president, Donald Trump. Yeah. The thing with the dude who just recently, unfortunately, got shot on TV. Kurt. Yeah. Charlie Kirk, all that stuff hit there immediately. It was immediate. People that had phones that was covering it released it. The news outlets released it. I don't know what's going on to the point where they not releasing anything concerning this.
Because they don't have it, T-Hill. News don't have it. Somebody might have told them something, but they don't have it. No.
Hey, that could be true.
I mean, they scared. It Tank, they know that he not nothing to play with. So Tank might have the power that you said Jake don't got, by itself though. Just all by itself. I mean, his knockout power alone. You know what I mean? They would they wouldn't want to release those tapes.
Yeah.
But shoot, man, I don't know, man. We'll see how it plays out, though, for sure.
How tall is Tank, and how tall was this lady?
I think Tank is like 5'5".
And how was she was like 6'2".
I don't know. Right? I don't know who she is. I really can't tell you about her. I just know that her name. that she gave and her true name ain't the same. She gave the first name of her friend and then her last name.
Yeah,
So
she like 6'2". If Tank like 5'5", I
you
don't
know she's
see him
6'2"?
being.
How you know this?
I don't see him dragging. I don't see him dragging somebody that tall out without nobody saying nothing to him, or that just looks weird. Like 5'5". That's like Tank dragging Anthony Joshua out the club and nobody even noticed it.
And you know, somebody do they allow phones in that club?
That's another thing. I don't know if that's not a policy. That might not be a policy. It might not be that you can bring your phone up in there. See, that is something that could be possible.
That would have been on YouTube. Somebody would have filmed that on their phone if you take phones in. That would have been on YouTube.
But I mean, what you just said is true. Just like somebody told me that, like, they probably didn't want to push nothing out there because, you know, they had a case not too long ago with him that they had to drop. And probably they just don't want to deal with it. That's another way of looking at it too. But the fact that, you know, if it's a video of him doing it, that's the only thing that's troubling me. Because then that's grounds to say, look, dog, you don't need to be out here walking the streets no more. We're gonna sit you down until we can get this stuff settled.
Doing it. Yeah. I don't think they do though.
But all right, Kaz, man, I ain't mean to disturb the show like that, bro. I just wanted to pick your brain on that because I know you got a little bit more knowledge about the situation than I do.
Because you know the news, man, nothing holds the news back. The Constitution allows them to do whatever, to show whatever. Now let's say a pending investigation or something, but it don't seem like the police investigating it.
Well, that's what the article said. The article said that they are putting together an investigation.
The police?
Yeah, supposedly. So that is true.
I mean, you could break that down to science, though. Ain't no 5'5" man unless they lift a lot of weights, like a bodybuilder, weightlifter type of person, gonna easily drag a 6'2" out of a club like that.
Though, John?
I mean, that's what it's saying right here. Like she's 6'2".
Oh, you're reading something?
I'm gonna have to read up.
Yeah, you could easily just Google it. It's like 6'2". You could scientifically, it's not that easy to do that. Well, you're talking about 6'2".
I don't know,
you're
bro. All I know is it's strange.
Like,
that's all I know.
If she was 6'7", somebody talking about 6'7", they probably talk about Anthony Joshua. But like, I'm talking about 6'2". Like, come on now. That's scientifically not even possible. 6'2". Like, come on now.
But to bring things back, man, next week it's your boy Roach versus Pitbull, and we're gonna see how that play out.
Next weekend?
It's next weekend, so yeah.
They better not show more highlights of Roach rabbit punching Garcia in the back of the head, and they showing it as the top highlights for this fight. Wow. I wouldn't even want them to show that as my highlight. Like you hit him in the back of the head and dropped him, and they showing that as that's one of your top highlights in your career. Like, tell them to cancel that highlight.
It's illegal, ain't it?
He was doing that a lot with Tank.
Called. But if it don't get called, it's called not now. But it's gonna be an interesting fight, man. You know, it's gonna be interesting because I don't think that Pitbull is as bad as everybody makes him out to be. You know, I think likewise Pitbull is getting a lot of shade because you know he's a smaller guy and he throws with ferocity, and it doesn't seem like he throws any jabs or things like that. But he's a difficult fight for folks, and you know I think it's gonna be a difficult fight for Roach. I think he's gonna have to figure it out, and if he figure it out, I think that he can use his reach and his boxing acumen.
Yeah, Pitbull have his most trouble against outboxers. Guys that can stand outside and box and move like a Rayo.
So yeah, he would have to do that. He would exactly what he would have to do is like what Rayo did to him.
Yeah.
I think Pitbull power is overrated though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah. I think that Roach could deal with his power and really dismantle him and really bang it out with Pitbull.
Well, I think that's the fight he's going to fight because, you know, he's a counterpuncher. So
fight Pitbull want to.
Yeah, it fits it. It
it
fits
might
in.
not be. It might not be overrated. I don't know. I don't think it. I think it's overrated though. I
I
think
mean,
Tank fought him that way because he just wanted to more than like that was the easiest fight for him to fight with Pitbull and the least amount of risk.
Yeah, that's true.
And
Pitbull.
that was his fight where it's like
we gonna
they was
see.
testing. He was able to do a
Yeah,
Money
broke his hand and
Mayweather
look at him. He was stopped.
type of fight. Like instead of knocking somebody out, he was able to just outbox him,
Yeah,
which is I thought was one of his goals the whole time was to be able to fight like that, like how Shakur fight,
yeah.
like
He
from the
I
he
think it's
knew
gonna
beginning.
it.
be a good fight, bro. I really do. I think that Lamont Roach, his mentality won't allow for him to not engage, and they're gonna engage. And I think those are gonna be some great moments, man. I think that this fight gonna be a really good banger. I think the card as a whole gonna be a good
What
card.
else
So,
on the card, Tia?
oh,
On
hold
that
on,
card,
let me get that for you real quick.
big names on there. I know what's the name is on there. Rocha, right? Ain't Rocha on there? I think. Alexis Rocha.
Frank Martin and Bartholomew on there.
All right,
Oh yeah,
hold on.
Frank. That's right. Yeah, Frank coming back. This is first fight since Tank, right? For Frank, I think. He haven't fought in a minute.
Laura versus Janabek.
Okay. Oh, that's gonna be. I like that one.
Man, I hope Laura. I hope
Yeah,
he sleeps Janet back.
I like that.
Oh, hold on. Let me get the rest of the people. I know Laura
Oh,
versus
yeah.
Janabek on there. Let me
That might be
find
the
it.
one I'm looking forward to, Laura and Janabek. Yeah, I like that one. Laura can box. He can outpoint Janabek. I guess Janabek favored, right?
Yeah.
I think he is favored, but I think Laura's gonna win that fight, bro. I think Laura's a good boxer. I think that, and
Yeah.
on top of that, he's settled in on his punches lately too. So
Laura got
he's
all the experience, man. He's seen everything, you know?
Yeah, they ducking. They trying to duck Laura.
Yeah.
Like it's definitely a young man sport, but sometimes they try to force it though.
And
Sometimes
sometimes,
the
like a
older
B-Hop,
man is the
you know,
better
Charles,
fighter.
like a B-Hop,
Yeah,
you get this special fighter. I think Laura is one of them, where he got that, like a Tom Brady type. Got that, just got
yeah.
the knack. The age ain't really affected the bossing him, you know? You get
I
some of
think he did even better than B Hop. I think B
that.
Hop he had more
Yeah.
damage at this time.
Yeah, you get
How
them
you doing?
athletes that
Good
like you every
afternoon.
now and
Good
then, man.
afternoon.
Yeah.
How are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm well, thank you. How are you feeling today?
Yeah,
Feeling
Laura's
good.
one of them.
Yeah? How
Oh
does your
boy.
belly feel?
Hey, T.O., you still there?
yeah. I'm over here looking up the fight. Yeah, I'm looking up the fight. Hold on.
I think Laura, what I was telling John, Laura's one of them, like a B-Hop, Tom Brady. Some athletes just got that, can go up into their 40s and their age ain't really, ain't really a factor to him, you know? He's 42, I believe, Laura. Ain't he? 42.
Well, that's what he say. That's what he say. Now, what he really is a different thing, because
He say
them
closer
people.
to 50.
Yeah.
You know how them Cubans is, though, man. When he started, he said he was like 21. He was really like 30 then. And he said he was 21 when he started.
So on that card also, Kaz, is Fulton versus
Yeah. What's
Foster,
the name?
and then Fulton versus Foster, and also that's a great fight. That's
Hey,
a
Rocha
hell of
on
a
there too? Alexis Rocha?
Roach is on that fight too versus
Yeah.
I want to say, is Rocha on there versus Ramos?
It's next week? Wow. I didn't know it was this close.
That's the 6th. It's the 6th. It's the day before my birthday.
Wow, that's a good
and
one.
then they got Shane Mosley Jr. versus no, that's who Ramos is fighting, Shane Mosley Jr. So Ramos versus Shane Mosley Jr. So it's Roach. Yeah, it's gonna be a tough fight for him. But yeah, man, it's a great card.
Who's Rocha fighting again? To you?
Rocha, let me see.
That little kitten I just got the other day. He down there tearing my ankles up. To be only 6 weeks off, but he was still feeling cheap.
Yeah, them cats be something else. What type of cat is it?
I don't know. Just a regular old black and white cat, man. A boy. But I know he only 6 weeks old, but them little teeth is sharp.
Yeah, they real sharp. Real sharp. I couldn't find who he was fighting.
Somebody be bigger too, boy cats.
Yeah, hey, Bugs, I'm about to hook you up though. Is that cool? Can I call you?
Yeah, we're gonna give it to get out to you.
Yeah, man. No, I appreciate you, man. And like I said, man, I was just trying to pick your brain because I'm not really affluent on the law like that, man.
Yeah.
I avoid the law, so I don't really.
I was doing a little trolling too, man. It could be true.
Yo, it could. It very well could be.
You said they're investigating, right?
Yeah.
So, man, the news might not be able to do if
So it could be. It could be true. You're right about that.
Out of the papers and stuff too. They could, say they have it, but if the police investigate, they can't show it because it might, what they call it, it might supplement investigation.
Yeah. All that good stuff. It's just crazy, man. It's just a wild event, man. So I'm just looking forward for this to be over one way or another.
It will be.
So we can move on from that, man.
Okay,
hey, John, man, don't worry about it, man. Get that belly checked out, baby boy. Get that belly checked out.
You came here really try mess with me I'm sitting here peaceful for real. You come in here really try be on one, get his rocks off on me now. Call him a douchebag. You don't want walk off and shit like. Fuck out of here, man. I ain't need you to come in here and do that for that was not unnecessary.
Hey, he wanted to get a little bit of Cash Sports the Box story in time, baby boy. That's all, man. Let him get his 15 minutes.
Rocks off. Freaking weird.
Hey, but on that note, man. On that note,
still a movie or something.
On that note, man, we about to cut out. Cass said he about to go home, man. He got to take care of the kitty back.
More turkey and stuff.
And eat some more turkey. Hey, you know what? I'm gonna eat me a little something. I ain't had nothing to eat either. But,
I can't even eat right now.
Al Booger, man, I'm gonna give you a call if that's cool.
Al Booger. Yeah.
And shout out to everybody that came through, man. Shout out to Kaz giving us the breakdown on these great fighters from that great division, man. Shout out to the good brother Ja coming up cooking. Shout out to all those people who just listened but didn't comment. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, though, man. We appreciate that because he's doing good work for the sport of boxing, man, and detailing it in such a fashion that we can get better understanding. So, and today I got a little bit of understanding myself, man. So shout out to Big Kaz, the box story, and shout out to Mrs. Kaz, man, for allowing him this time, man. Till tomorrow, man. Oh, wait. Nah, not till tomorrow, but Monday.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Monday. We'll see you again. 2:00 p.m. That's 2:00 short. We out. Well, I'm out.
Peace and blessings.
Peace and blessings to the good brother Ja.
All right. Appreciate y'all. I'm out too. Ja T. Hill. Salute. No, man. Shit. Hell. Oh, man. At least you probably didn't get this. No. That could be true, too.